Welcome to the Gangcast, aka the Games and Not Games podcast. I'm Jenna Garcia, and joining me, as always, is Isaiah Smith.
Hello and welcome back.
A year older and a year wiser.
Yeah.
It was your birthday.
Yeah, my birthday was the other day.
Everybody say happy birthday in the YouTube comments and on BlueSKy.
There you go. Thank you. Yes. I probably won't, but imagine that I digitally added some like happy birthday noises in the background here.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, the copyright strike.
Happy
Whoa.
birthday to you. If we only do a couple seconds, it won't matter. Funnily enough, a lot of things happened since the last time we posted an episode. One of those things was we recorded an episode, the original episode 38, which we will revisit at a later time. Did the whole episode, fun episode, another banger.
Yeah.
And then it finally happened to us. 38 episodes in.
Yeah.
Isaiah, you went to that little computer and it said, nah.
Yeah. All the audio. I think it was, to be honest, I'm not sure what it was. I don't know if it was the mixer. I don't know if it was the cable, the line, or what. I think it was the mixer. It like just was having like weird interference, and then like every like literally 2 seconds there was just like a hiccup or a static or a gargle or a crunch in the audio file, and it was like in the audio file. It wasn't like the playback of the audio file or the preview. No, like no matter how you open this audio export, no matter how you like, if you just listen to the preview through the headphones, like there was just static and interference and gargle in the line, and it was like, all right, well, the episode's lost. It is in the vault. It is I don't know, maybe something one day we'll have a fun secret listening to the episode that never was.
Well, I think we're just going to re-record it, which funnily enough, I feel like you suggested us doing that almost immediately, Isaiah, and I'm like, I mean, I'm down to like, it's weird because it's like we already said everything, but I'm like, I kind of know what I said and can say it again.
And I forgot, so it's like a new episode either way.
Yeah, I think waiting a bit is good, and you know what? I know y'all are wondering, what was the episode? What's the people? It was retro gaming and workspaces, which I think we are actually gaining more retro gaming content as time goes on. So
and workspaces. So
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be an easy revisit, but and then we were like, the next week came, and I was like, hey, what if instead of recording the podcast, we just worked on finishing Clear Obscure, and then we did a recording. We delayed the podcast, but we record a spoiler cast and some other parts that can be games and not games or whatever, and then we post that because I'll be working for SGF, so we won't be able to record then, and then it kind of like fills that gap in a weird way. But instead, we did be Clear Obscure, but then we didn't record that podcast. Then I had to work.
It took us a little bit longer than expected to actually beat Claire.
That's not why.
I mean, it's not why, but it didn't help.
And this is more of a me thing. I'm always a little busier than I think I'm going to be for that week leading into a big work week like SGF, which is kind of like a weird. It's like a half week, but it feels like it's like 2 weeks or a week and a half because it starts on Friday, but it really starts on Thursday because usually we vlog the day before. So really, you have like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then I take the rest of that week off to recover. Though I don't take the week off because I have to record about the thing. So it's like so really I work really hard Thursday through Wednesday, and then I do nothing on the next couple days, hopefully, or whatever. And then the week leading up to that Thursday, I try to like do as little as I can work wise to more like mentally and physically prepare. But actually, I still have work that time, so I don't actually do that little amount. Mine is like, I don't know, Indie Council didn't record because of travel, stuff like that. But like, so yeah, it's a challenging time. And now that brings us to today's recording. We're here, and so much in game, mostly games. Some not game stuff has happened too, but that's kind of just life. Like life continues to happen. But it's been a big chunk of time for games. We had Switch 2. We had the aforementioned SGF. Let's start off with Switch 2. We've already talked a little bit about like the pre-order process and getting the console, but we finally actually got the console. We went over to GameStop. They had their midnight release, which is 9 p.m. PT. There was a little bit of confusion on my end due to the GameStop worker. Look, I'm not trying to like. I'm not. One of these,
no,
we're not one of these beat up on GameStop every 2 seconds podcasts. But I gotta call a spade a spade. This worker gave me inaccurate information, and whatever. I'm not that mad at it, but I'm like very like slightly like I did feel like you didn't know what you're talking about. They called me to remind me about my pre-order. They called you too later.
Yeah, they called both of us.
And they were like, "Hi, like it's GameStop. You have your pre-order. Come by at 3 p.m. You can pick up your console." And I was like, 3 p.m. pick up the console? You mean like the ticket to get the console and I come back at 9 p.m., right? Because it's not my first midnight launch for GameStop. Not even at this GameStop. So I'm like, I've gone to like Tears of the Kingdom and I think maybe one other thing, but definitely Tears of the Kingdom. And she was like, no, it was just at 3 p.m. you can just get your console. And I'm like, so I'm getting the console. I'm walking in and I'm grabbing the console. I'm not getting a ticket to come back and get the console. She's like, nope, 3 p.m. And I was like, okay. And so we went, and I was going to go either way. So I'm like, it's not really that deep. And the GameStop isn't like wildly far from the house. I know for some people, like the thought of going to their local GameStop and then coming back is like
a trek.
30 minutes, an hour. I'm like, no, it's like not that. It's like a regular store to me, for our area and how it's laid out. So it wasn't a big deal. Got there, of course, they're like, pick up your ticket and come back later. And I was like, I had a feeling that was going to be the case. And other people in line for the pre-order were also like, yeah, they also told me that. And I knew they were, I don't know what happened there with our GameStop specifically, but doesn't matter. There were 2 lines. One line was you had your pre-order and you were picking up your little sticker that said like your number 7. Mm-hmm. The other line was you didn't have a pre-order at all and you wanted to pre-order late, like basically. Yeah, like buy it. I guess. Well, I guess it maybe is still just like whatever. You're getting the consoles that are in store for the day of. Mm-hmm. The line of the people.
Yeah.
Who didn't have a pre-order.
Yeah.
What did that look like, Isaiah?
It was.
Paint me a word picture.
It was, if you ever went to a like Jordan sneaker release in the aughts, it was like that. It was like a line starting at the building, wrapped around the next 4 to 5 businesses in the little like area, curving and snaking its way through things, like blocking entrance to some buildings. So like people have to like have these like built-in gaps so like you can still access the the tender greens or something like next door. Like it was wild. It was long. And it was hot too. We were like where the pre-order line was kind of like up against the building.
Yeah.
And so like we were in the shade, which is also really nice. But if you were in that other line, ooh boy, you are toast. You're baking.
And then I have some anecdotal information to share that I grabbed I shared it in my Slack with MinMax, so I could just pull it up. Yeah, so the event started at 3 and pickup for the release of the thing was at 9 p.m. They also, like, our GameStop, this is like a cute idea, but it wasn't well executed. They did a little like launch party where they're like, you can play Mario Kart and you can play Smash Bros. And they set up like this TV like outside. It was very strange. It wasn't very well done. It kind of felt like someone had this idea and then the day came and they said, how are we actually executing the idea? And then they kind of just slapped something together.
Sure. But it seemed like people were interested.
People did it. People were playing Smash Bros.
So props to them for.
They were unlocking. It was more than what we had before, which was nothing. But we were kind of like.
It was funny that they
should do. It was
like a new install of Smash Bros. Ultimate. So like there was
none of the characters were unlocked.
Yeah, none of the characters were unlocked, and they were just like almost like speed running.
But it was kind of fun seeing people unlock the characters. So I don't know. But they had 60 Mario Kart bundles available and 24 bases available at our specific GameStop.
Yeah, I can tell you now there was more than like 100 people in that line.
Definitely. I don't know why at a certain point they didn't just go home because it's like, at a certain point the math is the math. The people towards the front, I did not talk to the front of the line people. They had gotten up to like, I don't know, use the bathroom or something at the time. But I did talk to some people really close to the front, and they said they were there at 9 a.m. the day before.
Which is,
I'm going to let that sink in. So, and mind you, this is like, at least we pre-ordered at that GameStop, and we're also in line for several hours. Mm-hmm. So, because we didn't want to like risk not getting it kind of thing. So we were there for a couple hours. But we were there for a few hours before like store open at like 10. So it's like really not that many hours. Like, cause I think we got there maybe like 7.
We woke up at like 6.
Yeah. So. We got there around like 6-ish, 7.
Mm-hmm.
for like around like a 10 a.m. So it's
Mhm.
like, well, I mean, it's long, but it's not.
Yeah.
For the fact that they didn't let them do this until 3, I think GameStop should be arrested for that. I don't know if that has to be like I'm guessing they didn't want to like create confusion of giving like, the pre-order people have 3 and the other people have 3. So I think they just said, we're doing everything Switch related at 3.
Yeah.
Which like in their defense, getting the workers in, making sure it's like one of the biggest days working at that store. Whether or not you hate GameStop or not, that's just a fact. Like that's a huge day. Their Call of Duty days are also like really crazy. So it's like, I understand it from that standpoint, but the pain, the physiological secondhand pain I feel from that. Now, granted, the people that were at their 9 a.m. since the day before said that most of the people that were like behind them arrived at 5 a.m. day of. So you definitely didn't need to camp out overnight. And, but hey, the people towards the front, they're like, I'm getting a Switch 2.
Yeah, no.
So
they were
props
locked.
to them. I've always been of the mind, if that many people are down to camp overnight, clearly I just don't deserve it. Like, I just don't even give it to me. I refuse to do an overnight camp for, I think, anything.
My big thing is like, you were very down to get the Switch, but you weren't down enough to just pre-order it. Like, to do this.
I know. I should have asked. I'm like in a non-mean way. What happened? Why aren't you in the other line? What happened?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Maybe they were both. Maybe they did.
That's
maybe they
true.
did pre-order, and then they're like, you know what? I also want to get some for my partner, for my family,
That's
for a sibling,
true.
for a niece, nephew.
Maybe something really messed up happened. Maybe they were out of town. Maybe they were injured. Maybe.
I guess that's true.
I don't know.
I mean, not.
But it's still shocking though
Let
to
me
see
not
how many
judge.
people though.
It was shocking.
Because that either means like, I don't know. But I will say like day of, I don't know how your timelines were, but I was seeing a couple people catch that like last second vibe. They were like, wait, are we getting Switch 2s?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be the one without a Switch 2. And like people last second were like, can I go to my Best Buy and go to Switch 2? Or even day of. So I don't know how much you saw that on your end.
Apparently a good amount of people just like were able to go into like a Costco the day of and get a Switch, or like it was like one other store that I think is like kind of regional. Like I don't think it's in the US. Like I think it's like maybe a Canadian store.
Yeah, like a Flim Flams or something.
Yeah, they were like going to Flim Flams and like day of, just like walk out with a Switch 2 and everything. And I was like, oh, I mean, hey, great. It is. I'm over the hustle and bustle and hassle of trying to lock in a console at launch. Like, it is good that this was a launch where everyone who seemingly wanted to get a console could.
Yeah. Obviously, some people like I feel like if you didn't get lucky enough to, because I do think a lot of the store units did go quick.
Oh, sure.
Even though they were there, but yeah. So, because I mean,
again, I'm not saying everyone.
Yeah.
But it seems like enough people were like day of who are maybe on the fence. Maybe we also even met some people online during the launch day where it was like, hey, like, I was talking to my dad and he lives kind of like in the middle of like a more rural area of Texas. And I was like, you know what, Dad, just go to GameStop. See if you could just pre-order one today, like the launch day, kind of like, before the midnight launch. And they were able to go in and do it. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, some places still had plenty to go around. Yeah. Some places, probably more populated, busier cities, did not.
I'm curious on that note what the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff looks like on eBay. I'm going to look that up. But on the note of people getting Switches, you ended up being like, I don't know, like the Switch Santa or something. I don't know. Like we got to think of a name for it. But because you had a couple pre-orders.
Yeah. So
and you decided to be a man of the people instead of being a man of the eBay.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, we during the original sort of pre-order launch night online where everyone was fighting against the computers to pre-order things digitally, I was able to get 2 for us from Walmart, a Mario Kart bundle and a non-Mario Kart bundle. The next day is when we went to GameStop in person and then pre-ordered there. So it was like, okay, cool. Like I have, we have these guaranteed consoles in person at GameStop. But I'm going to keep my Walmart pre-orders just in case, right? Like, if I've learned anything from, working at IGN, being friends with people in the industry, things like that, it's like somewhere at some point, someone's pre-order is going to get canceled or lost, or, the Target's not going to come through, or Best Buy's system's going to reject orders or do like last minute cancellations and things like that. And of course, that is what happened for folks. So I had my 2 pre-orders. I was like, hey, hit up some friends in the industry. Hey, like if your pre-order gets canceled, if you last minute change your mind, you want one, I have these 2, just hit me up, sort of a just at market, like, no markup or anything like that. Just like, hey, I'm just keeping these 2 pre-orders for people who might need them. Worst case, if like, I don't know, if after like a week after launch or 2 weeks after launch, I could always just return them or just sell them on eBay at cost or something like that. Right. Like, again, I think there were enough systems available at launch that scalping kind of wasn't one. It's never really feasible, but it's never smiled upon, right? But it was
you
like
ain't never gonna get no judgment from me. I flipped that first Switch, and that's how I got one Switch that I shared because I was broke. So
it was like I'm not looking to scalp these. I'm not looking to make money off of them. Worst case, I just want to get my money back kind of thing. And that would be a good worst case because it means that people in my network were able to get theirs.
I forget who it was that told me, so I don't want to misattribute, but someone at Summer Game Fest told me that one of their friends is paying off their mortgage by flipping Labubus. So
that's what I don't feel bad about that because
I don't feel bad about anything.
I mean,
that's obviously like a dramatic thing, but like people act like we are taking like people like that scalpers are taking food out of people's pantries.
No, that's fair.
I think specifically is it slimy with the Switch 2? It's like it's an extra, I feel like, just because I think it's in my mind, and that's kind of why I'm like, hey, if you're gonna scalp the Switch 2, take the money, baby, because I don't want to do that work. I don't want to go get like we got all the pre-orders we got because like I really need my console for work. And so I need a console because it's my job. But yeah, that's it. Like I don't personally feel like trying to flip a Switch because it is such an expensive investment. The margin isn't insane. Sure. Like you're not going to get like double margins on that. You're going to get like an extra third, which is not nothing, but it's not enough to be like fiscally viable. Sure. And there is still like risk involved. It's just like not now. If you're going to try to get 82 Switches and flip them, go ahead. I mean, I don't want to do the work, so I don't really care that other people are doing the work because it is a lot of work. I mean, I know you can make bots and stuff for stuff. I guess I think the bot stuff's a little bit like, but I don't know. It's like not. But I feel like with the Labubus, because they're blind boxes, you're kind of just like creating the market that Gacha doesn't have because the whole thing is the blind box. So they're like, well, if you don't want to do the blind box, you can pay like double, but you know what you're getting and you get it. And I already did the work of blind boxing them out or whatever. So really what the point of this tangent, Isaiah, is we got to start flipping these Labubus because
apparently, man, paying off mortgages.
Paying off a mortgage.
Where's this mortgage at though?
I was going to say. Okay, I didn't know California, but still like, we're like a lot of Labubus away from like a down payment. But still, I don't know. Anyway, but so you didn't want to.
Yeah. So
you didn't want to start hustling on.
I don't want to start hustling
eBay.
the Switch too. So, but found some people in the industry who either didn't feel the need to pre-order and was just gonna get one later, or pre-order got canceled, whatever, yada yada. Was able to link up with them and get them their Switches.
It was very funny because one of them specifically, you just had the Switch in your car and then you walked out back after like our friend's party, Connor's party, and was like, "You got that Switch too?" Like the cops are gonna be like,
yeah. No, it was really funny. We went to
put your hands up.
A Switch 2 launch Mario Kart bundle or Mario Kart kind of party, right? We're like, the idea is to get everyone together.
Unofficial Nintendo, don't come for Connor.
Get everyone together, do the knockout rounds in person, blah, blah, blah. And like one of the people there was like, I told, the host of the party, Connor, like, hey, like, I have an extra Switch. I'm like, someone, if you know anyone, obviously they know people who are into Nintendo and everything. Like, if you know anyone who couldn't get a pre-order or, things got canceled, let me know. He's like, I may know someone here who would want that Switch. And I was like, let's connect. Let me know. And then, like just later that night, I sold them the extra Switch that we had.
Nice.
I was like, man, I should probably just bring this just in case. Like,
that was smart to do.
Yeah.
I will say some eBay tea on the Nintendo Switch too, because some have sold for the markup, despite there being I'd say solid stock. It wasn't like super high stock, which honestly, low key, thank God, because I hope Nintendo doesn't fail.
I'm curious now if we're going out today. I would be down to stop somewhere nearby, like not
for
too
journalism.
far out of the way. Yeah, for the journalism. So just stop into a store, see what things are looking like.
So a lot of to give some insight into like the eBay landscape of the Switch 2, it looks like a lot of these listings did sell like today. Like a lot are selling today.
Oh, okay.
So let me scroll up to the top.
So demand is still.
I think there's definitely still
strong.
demand. Like if you have a Switch 2 and you want to put your little like black hoodie up and go to eBay and sell your Switch 2, like you could. I mean, these are I think I marked the condition as like new or like sealed or whatever. Anyway, they're going for like $685, $660, $630. Granted, some of these are offering free delivery, so it's not exactly a $630 margin. Because what's it retail for again?
After tax, the console only was around like $450, and then the Mario Kart bundle was around like $500.
Yeah, so like this is like bundle or no bundle. It varies. Like one of them $685 for the bundle. We got a $630 just the Switch. We got a $600 the Switch, but like I don't like that picture they use. I would not buy that one. But it's sold. We got $685. This is via bids. I got up to $685, and you have to pay for the delivery, which is $16. I won't do too many more of these.
Okay, so it's like anywhere from like 100 to 150.
Yeah, I think the highest I've seen right now, I see a 750.
Jeez.
That's sold. Someone said, I just want to drive. I want to drive all night. I want to drive all night. The 750, I feel like you wanted to spend 750. Like, because I just feel like there's listings on eBay that are cheaper. The lowest I'm seeing for sold is like $599. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely make some money on it, but it's like, it would take a long time for it to be
and a lot of Switches.
An amount of money. Yes. Like, and money's different for everybody. I'm really not trying to like be too, like for me, I think a $500 profit would be like, oh, that could be a profit worth pursuing. And that profit would take 2 to 3 Switches, which is still like a lot of money to pay up front. And I just don't, I don't personally have the budget to be flipping stuff.
No.
But yeah, if we had universal income, we wouldn't need to have scalpers. So take that hate towards scalpers and push yourself more to leftism, okay? Because that's really what this is all about. Anyway, cool. That was interesting to see. But yeah, Switch 2, we got it. Opening night or launch night, I did my big Nintendo Switch 2 stream, which my brother Edwin came by for. And you were instrumental in, Isaiah, because you were running the tech of helping me set up my Switch 2 and like get things going.
Yeah, we got first boot on stream and set up and transfer from old Switch to new.
This is how I found out I didn't have
and everything.
The family membership anymore. I tried to get online and they said, there's a brokey trying to get on our internet. And I said, oh, sorry, chat. This must be some mistake. I'm not broke. And then I had to like get the family plan. And then literally yesterday, I realized I accidentally got the family plan, but not the family plan plus expansion pack.
It's just so
Shut
dumb.
up, Nintendo. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Nintendo
I just can't stand.
They are somehow the most like anti-consumer.
And don't tell me, well, actually, if you compare it to
company.
PlayStation, whatever, shut up. Shut up. You work for them or what? Like, anyway.
Yeah.
But launch night, it was cool. Had a good time. It took a while to, again, get into like getting Mario Kart to work. I know for a lot of people, they were having issues having Mario Kart
I guess.
work in the chat. They were saying like it wouldn't like open for them yet. And I don't know. But yeah, played it a bit. Played a bit with some community members. It was fun. It was pretty. It was Mario Kart. Yeah, that was kind of the vibes.
Mario Kart.
And we looked through just kind of like what's the vibe of the ergonomics. It was like my brother's first time getting hands on with the Switch 2, so we talked about that for a bit. And yeah, let's get into some of the Mario Kart because you drove with us a little bit you did, I think, 2 Grand Prix.
I think two or three. I think 3.
It might have been 3. And Isaiah, what's going on with you in Mario Kart?
And I said this on BlueSKy. I got a couple. I didn't do it for the likes. I did it to get it off my chest. Mario Kart fucking sucks, man. I hate this game. I don't understand what is fun about it. I regret. I should have sold my Mario Kart bundle and just kept the base console because I feel like I wasted $50 for a bad game, which is the only console exclusive game, like a main AAA, like a big launch sort of rally behind game.
The virtual like
launch.
4 GameCube games are exclusive.
Yeah, the virtual 4 GameCube games, the remaster of an old 3DS game is exclusive, and like maybe like 1 or 2 other things that no one cares. Oh, the Nintendo, what is it, World Tour or whatever?
Welcome Tour.
Welcome Tour. Also exclusive.
We did not pick up Welcome Tour.
But man, dude, fucking Mario Kart is not fun, and I'm tired of pretending like it is. Okay?
I don't think you ever did pretend like it is the thing.
That was still too much. I'm tired of pretending like this game does not suck ass. And if you like it, I'm happy that you're able to have fun with it. I judge you. I judge you.
I genuinely think, in a non-evil way, I think if you could wave a magic wand and have everyone think this game sucks, you would.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're happy that people like it. I don't think you're gonna like beat people up over it, but I don't think you're happy people like it. I don't appreciate you lying on this podcast.
Again, that's wave a magic wand. If I have to do effort, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care.
Sure, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, these are just video games. But like, the truth is, you're not happy people like it. I think you're actually actively annoyed that people like it because you think it's so stupid and you think it's plaguing your society.
It's not that I hate that people like it. I hate that it's as popular as it is and that people like I hate that people like it as much as they do.
Yeah.
Like if people liked it, like, I don't know, like fighting games. I'm not into fighting games.
Yeah.
But people love fighting games. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, fine. I can understand that. I can get behind that. I've played fighting games and had fun with them, and I can see the appeal and the technical strategy that goes into it and this, that, and the third. Mario Kart's too random. You get some items that just fucking fuck you every single race. If you fall down into like 4th place, you're fucked. And good luck fucking crawling your way back into top 3. God forbid we're in a knockout tour and you fucking miss the cutoff by like 1 position, and then you're just fucked there looking at the rest of the people race for another 5-10 minutes.
It's not 5-10 minutes, but
yeah,
you know, when the storm closes,
long
you just gotta sit there. You sit in. Yeah.
If you could turn off items, Mario Kart would be a great game.
I do think it's a little silly that you can't turn off items.
You can turn off items in their fighting game. You can turn off items in Smash. Why can't I turn off items in Mario Kart? Or limit the items so that there's no like fucking fuck you blue shells or anything. It's like, why am I punished for being good?
It's called equity.
Get better, race faster, learn the course, do whatever. That's fine, but don't give me items that just fuck you. That's dumb.
I just think it's funny that I think you're the only person I've met on Earth that's like, Mario Kart, too much RNG drama. Like,
it is too much RNG.
So that's really funny to me. I really like Mario Kart. I think it is it's kind of the best kart racer that we have. It is a
racing game that incentivizes not being first. Which is
wild. It just has
you get better items. You get you have a better ability to steal first instead of keeping first.
Okay, we'll just drive in second.
It does,
but you can't.
The driving's not good enough for you to like be that technical.
But I think that's actually part of what I think the structure of Mario Kart does. I don't want to say lean against its own bullshit, but like kind of like I was thinking about this a lot driving through Mario Kart, where I was like, okay, well, I should just like different strategies to avoid getting fucked over, right? Because I'm like, I'm tired of getting fucked over. I am going to keep my 3 green shells rotating around me because they're basically like shields when you keep them on you. But then, lightning ball hits. You lost all your items. Turns out you should just do those. So I do think I think what kind of helps with the items of Mario Kart is that you can't really hoard the items for your own benefit. You do kind of need to always be using things.
You could always steal an item and do this and do that.
You can dodge the blue shell if you are good enough to do so. I am not good enough to do so. I don't think I've ever dodged a blue shell, but you can do it. You can do it. I've seen people do it. There's ways to do it.
Yeah. Sure.
There are. You just boost out of it with the mushroom, but you have to time it perfectly. It's the parry of Mario Kart is the thing. But yeah, and I think it's a beautiful looking game, and I think what I like about it is I think just the excitement of trying to win, which sounds silly, but that is like the fun of it, and that it is anyone's game at any time, and I think that adds like intensity to it. Yeah, so. I like it. I think it's a really strong kart racer. I will say this time around, I don't know if it's because it's Mario Kart 9, it is inherently a different game. I don't know if it's like me kind of growing as a player. I will say I'm a little bit less enamored with it than I've been in the past. I think because it is kind of the same thing over and over again in terms of feel, where it's like, yeah, we're having fun. Ooh, we're racing. Woohoo. But then it's like, well, how long can I go woohoo like for? And the answer is probably still a lot of hours. I'm not gonna lie. Because I think what's fun, what I'm really loving in Mario Kart and what I've always loved in Mario Kart is playing with other people. And the fun of like having a room and having like my BlueSKy followers or like my Discord people or my Twitch chat or whatever, and we're racing together. It's just fun to play a game together and it's fun to compete together. And I like that a lot. I think Knockout Tour is really genuinely incredible. It is the best thing they've done maybe in the franchise ever. I think the rest of the game, she a little weak in some parts. I think the what is it? The open world is like super, super mid. And I think the battle only has 2 modes. And if you just go online randomly, you can't even select what mode you're going into, which I think is insane. There's there's the coin chasers, and I forget what the other one is. And I've gotten coin chasers both times. And I hate coin chasers. I hate coin chasers. I don't want to play it. So stuff like that. And there's other like nitpicks I have about it where it's like, I think it's still a great game, but I don't think this is like a like lock for my top 10 of the year or anything. Like, I think it's just like, I'm having fun with it. It's a fun game. Mario Kart's still good. I do wish that some things about it were different for what I want in a Mario Kart. Like, I loved in 8 that you had to unlock stuff. And here you don't have to unlock anything. So it just kind of de-incentivizes like more of my single player kind of experience with Mario Kart.
So you can unlock costumes and cards?
Yeah, but I don't care about those that much. And also like, the costumes are also kind of limited too. Like the cow doesn't have any costumes.
Sure, not every character has like,
which I think is stupid. Like I think it's really stupid that the cow, you can put a little. It's like he's begging for a little hat. That's so stupid.
Well,
so
I guarantee you that
the DLC,
at some point
yeah,
there's gonna be some DLC. Modern Nintendo is it's different, man. It's different.
I just wish they were more cohesive with things. Yeah, absolutely. I miss Reggie every day. But yeah, it is funny how much
really is evil.
You hate Mario Kart. But what's funny about you hating Mario Kart is I've known you hated Mario Kart for a long time because you basically, I met you and I was like, hi, I'm Janet. And you said, hi, I hate Mario Kart. And I said, it's kind of weird introduction. But I've known this forever. But what's funny about you is you always still try, and I don't know why you try. You tried opening night, which I get because it's opening night. You're like, you know what? I want to stream with y'all. Let me just whatever. I said, cool. There's video evidence if you can see Isaiah politely hating this game. And then he's like, I think I'm full. And he like leaves, But then I went to go work during SGF, did a bunch of like vlogging with MinMax and playing some games. And I'll talk a little bit about those games in a bit. And in that time, you were left to your own Switch 2 devices. I want to know what journey you went on, because it seems like you went on 2 video game journeys during that time. What happened when you were left to your own devices?
I told myself, I said, self, we have the Switch 2. We have the one game that's exclusive to this console. Maybe we jump the gun. Let's get back in there. Let's get back in the ring, get back behind the wheel and try it out some more, right? Maybe try some of the different modes, right? And this is open world.
Oh, did you do coin chasers?
I didn't do coin chasers.
Coin chasers sucks. You would hate it.
I was
it's
like,
so bad.
This is open world Mario Kart. Maybe that's what we need, just the open valley. No bars to hold us in, It's just,
let me see if it's called coin chasers. It might be called something else.
Let's just drive around and see things. So I did the open world and I was like, this fucking sucks too. This is empty.
Sorry, it's called coin runners and it sucks.
God, don't get that confused. I wasn't having a good time with the open world stuff. I thought some stuff was cool, right?
Yeah.
Little, like power
the P blocks?
The P blocks where you can hit that.
The P switches,
there you go. Then you gotta get the coins before the time runs out and blah blah blah.
Hit charging Chuck. That was
fine.
I miss charging Chuck a lot. I tried to hit him for like 5 minutes.
I don't even know what that is.
He's the football guy.
Oh, okay, cool. There's the grinding. You find some ropes and rails and bridges and things you can grind on. All right, cool, fine, whatever. That's cool. Jump fucking sucks in this game. So it's like, all right, why do I have to go straight to jump when a game is all about fucking curving and drifting and everything? Whatever. Fine,
I do kind of agree with that.
Whatever. And then I got back into the circuit. So I was like, let's go. All right. I'm not feeling the open world as much as I'd hope. Let's go back to the circuits. Maybe I made a mistake there. Try the circuits again. And I guarantee you every single fucking time I would be second, because when I was in first, some bullshit would happen at the last second when there's no time left to fucking bridge that gap again. You fucking come in last place, or second, third place, and it's like, why are we even here? What are we doing here? What is the point of this? And I gave up. And I uninstalled the game, and I said, you know what? This is clearly isn't for me. I made a mistake. I have to just eat my mistake of thinking that Mario Kart World would be the Mario Kart game that would bring me around. That game doesn't exist. The series is just not for me. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't understand the fun behind it. And I hung it up. Then
let the record briefly show that Isaiah hates all kart racers, actually, because you also hate Crash Team Racing.
I thought Crash Team Racing was fine. I mean, I think it's better than Mario Kart.
That's not saying anything. You hate Mario Kart.
I guess it's fair.
Yeah. Look, I tried to play CTR with you, and you were not. We did not play together.
Well, because again, all the kart racers just have this like air of bullshit to them. I don't know if that's like a genre thing. No, it's not. It's not. It's called bullshit. There's a. I'm so curious. We
gotta get. Again, I thought I had it. We gotta get Blur again, or find my copy of Blur, and I want to see what you think of that, because it's a regular street racer mixed with kart racing powers, and I'm curious if you'll think that's bullshit.
Maybe. I guess we'll find out one day.
I think you just don't like being able to shoot people in a car, which I think is wild, because it's fun to shoot people in a car.
I'm fine with shooting, but just why am I punished for being good? I just don't give me a racing game where I'm punished for being good, and I'll show you a good racing game. That's where I land on that. Anyways, then I was like, you know what? Mario Kart shit's ass. Let's move on from it. And then I booted up what ended up being a great, fantastic game, the Metroid Prime Remaster. I bought that, as well as the Bravely Default Remaster. Why are 2 remasters the best games on this console right now? Who knows? I bought that, booted up Metroid Prime. Me and Samus, we were locked in, baby. We were locked in for like 6-7 hours. I'm not going to say a day, because the game is only like 14 hours. But, got some great sessions in. I got the boosts, got the suits, got the blasters, the beams, and all the grapples, all that stuff. It was all the fun that I wanted from like my 2D Metroidvania kind of Metroid games, but just in 3D. No, is the 3D great? No, right? It's your shooting it's a first person shooter, and thankfully I got a Switch 2 Pro controller because the idea of doing that with like Joy-Con, like them tiny, Joy-Cons are still small for me, like in my hand.
Yeah.
Like they're bigger and they're better for sure, but the Pro controller is to me just like more comfortable. But yeah, no, like being able to move around and play a game that, I don't know, the design felt fucking coherent and fun, and the story doesn't make much sense at all. I'm sure there's a YouTube wrap up somewhere that I can watch that will relay everything that happened. But like, I don't know, it was just fun to play a fun game on the system I just bought. It sucks that I had to go back to 2006, but hey,
I tell you,
sometimes
the GameCube goated. GameCube goated.
Yeah, apparently. That was,
and you know what game people launched with? Luigi's Mansion, baby, and that thing was fun. I had a good time with Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. So good, in fact. Well, I don't want to get ahead, but
you can a little bit. I don't mind.
The remaster was so good that during my birthday festivities, we went to a retro store and I got a Wii. I rebought a Wii in the Metroid Prime trilogy, so I can play the other 2 games hopefully before Metroid Prime 4.
So yeah, that is that'll definitely be included in our eventual retro episode that we do at some point. But I'm very, and obviously we can talk about it outside of just like retro gaming, but I'm very curious how that's going to go, because you had a Wii before. If we're just sharing our different Nintendo hate. Yeah. I hate the Wii. I've always hated the Wii. I think it's an idiotic console. I think the control scheme is asinine. And I thought that when I was a child. So I don't know how people looked at that thing and said, I'm standing, I'm clapping, I'm excited. I think it is literally a deconstructed controller, and I think that is stupid. I think we figured out how to make controllers, and then Nintendo said, what if we did something different? And I don't know why you did that. And I think, frankly, a lot of the games, I hear a lot of, it has a great library. I'm not always seeing that great library.
I don't know many people who say the Wii had a great library.
I know a lot of people that say the Wii had a great library. They say, the Wii has great games. Like, what do you like?
Are these the same people that just fucking loved Mario Galaxy? Because if that's the case, yeah, sure.
I mean, it's part of it, which I like Mario Galaxy like a good amount. I had a lot of fun with Mario Galaxy. Even though it is kind of like a weird Mario, we streamed that, and you also turned on that, which was funny to see. But yeah, that's from your buddy the Wii, and we will see what comes. We will see. We will see what comes of it. But I'm like, and it's funny because at the store, we got the one that's backwards compatible. You can play GameCube games on it, and the store people, of course, were like, like you get a Wii with backwards compatible. It's basically like you have a GameCube, and I'm like, I'm still gonna get my GameCube because I love the GameCube, and I don't care. Oh, you have to spend a lot. I don't care. I love the GameCube, and I hate the Wii. I don't want to play my GameCube games on Wii. I want to play my GameCube games on the GameCube, and I don't want to see the Wii. This is my first time having a Wii around me. But I'm very curious to see what happens with you and the Wii and I'm still down to maybe play some of those games because some of those games are only available like on the Wii. So it's like, I mean, obviously you can like play them illegally, but like, sure, like I'm down to try some of those games. But I saw you boot up Prime on the Wii and you use that little stupid remote and you were kind of like,
oh no, it doesn't feel good. Like again, I booted up in the trilogy Metro Prime 1 because it was like, oh, I literally just beat this in the remaster. So like, I'm not gonna have spoilers. I don't need to be like super focused on the intro, trailer or anything like that. So like, okay, cool.
Just to taste it. Yeah,
just to taste it. Man, what using a Wiimote to aim in a first-person shooter that is not like an on rails kind of thing. Even if it was on rails, just the fact using a Wiimote to aim and shoot, you would think it's great, but it fucking sucks. It's not good. I'm not convinced
you need to play RE4 that way.
Fuck no.
Because that's the canonical way to play RE4 is on that stupid Wiimote.
No.
Also, then you booted up Twilight Princess for a few seconds. And I will be interested to see what you think of that game when you actually start playing it. Because what you said when you booted it up was, I'm sure that this will feel better with the Wiimote because you have a sword. And I think it's going to feel terrible.
Well, I think the thing... For
I
a
did not play Twilight
first-person
Princess
shooter,
to be clear, but
for a first-person shooter, the thing you need is precision, and the Wiimote inherently is imprecise. Like it is not, as much as they probably wanted to sell it to you, and you can get the little like fucking HD accuracy attachment to the Wiimote and things like that. That's supposed to make it better and all that jazz. All that's fucking caveats aside, shit's not precise. And so in my head, I'm like, oh well, if I can lock on in Zelda and like. Probably gonna be fighting enemies locked on, and then the Wiimote is really just for like doing the swinging by like wagging it. Oh, that's probably gonna actually be fine. That's fine, no problems. Cool. Now, if there's like some arrow shooting parts, and that's like a part of a lot of the combat, and you got to be really accurate and do this and do that, then it's gonna be like, all right, well, this just sucks. But I'm confident. I'm hopeful. I'm not gonna say confident. I'm hopeful that it is more waggy to swing and not hold and aim to shoot kind of thing.
All I'm gonna say is that I am always ready for someone else to join me on the FWE army because Wii bowling will stop me from ever being the FWE army. I don't know if you got Wii bowling if you would give a fuck about it. Playing it today, I gotta be so for real with you.
Next time we gotta go back to the retro store.
I've played very, very little of Wii Sports because I didn't buy the Wii propaganda.
Understandable. I'm not vouching for Wii Sports. I'm vouching for Wii bowling.
Is Wii bowling not part of Wii Sports?
No, it is. It's just the rest of it.
I feel like, okay. Do you remember? This is very specific, Isaiah. Mike Jones. You know who Mike Jones is, right? Was it still
tipping?
Yes. Do you know that music video?
No.
Really?
I don't know many music videos.
Okay, well, later after this episode, I'll put it on the TV if I remember.
Okay.
But do you remember Paul Wall's verse?
I know the verse, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Paul Wall, I'm the people's champ. He has that line where he says, I got the internet going nuts. And this song came out. When did this song come out? It came out like a million years ago. And what the image that shows up when he says, I got the internet going nuts in the music video is of the internet, but it's like a cajillion years old. So it doesn't look exciting. I'm going to play this for you muted. And I don't know if you want to do anything else. Like what this looks like is what the Wii I think will feel like to modern gamers because it's maybe exciting at the time for certain things, but it's not like, it just does not work now. It just does not work. And I would argue it never really worked then. I think Wii Sports was propaganda that was sold to the gaming community. And I think y'all ate it up. I think that is...
I mean,
it's the welcome tour of the Wii.
It inherently was a gimmick.
It's giving Nintendogs,
right?
which I think, and no shade if you liked Nintendogs back in the day. I think you put Nintendogs out now, them dogs gonna die on the streets because people are not gonna give a fuck about Nintendogs now. I think it was a moment in time that doesn't have like longevity.
I mean, is that not what the definition of gimmick is, right? It's like a flash in the pan kind of thing that people gravitate towards. They pick up, they, rah behind, and then
no, I think a gimmick. I mean, if we look at the definition, a gimmick is just a trick or device intended to attract attention. It has no bearing on its longevity or not. Like I think a lot of things on Nintendo are inherently gimmicks because they are like looking for angles. Because they look for angles on like how to differentiate, and I think they like succeed on finding angles of differentiation, but how much does that translate into a good gaming experience? That's debatable, right? Like I think we've seen lots of gimmicks for them work. N64, 4 controllers, great gimmick. People loved it. They made a lot of games that were surrounded around multiplayer, and it was a lot of fun. DS, I would argue gimmick that worked pretty well. I know it's the second screen's a little underutilized, but I think it was really fun for maps and stuff, and I think it was cool to like close the console the way you could the SP. I'm cool with that gimmick. 3DS, gimmick that didn't really work. No one really used the 3D. The 3D didn't really add to anything. Hurt a lot of people's eyes. Still had great games. Still a console I really love, but the 3D aspect, didn't really do much. And again, the Wii thing, I think it made a lot of the games like kind of worse, and I think the controller was bad and dumb. But I don't know. I know for a fact that like people really loved Wii Sports at the time. I don't fully get why, and I don't know if I ever understand why, but
bowling was fun.
I'm down to play with you, and I'll let you know if I have fun playing it.
Sure.
It doesn't look that compelling, but I don't know. I also like Brain Age, so who am I to judge, I suppose. I think doing multiplication seems more fun than waving my arm to have a thing move down. But
I mean, I find both those things fun, so I don't know.
I mean, it's not even that Wii bowling's bad. It's just that like, I don't know. It's just maybe now that the Wii it'll be like, remember Morgan, what's his name? Is it not Freeman? Morgan, the guy from who did Supersize Me?
Oh, no. I mean, I know the Supersize Me.
Morgan Spurlock. He also had a show called 30 Days. Sidebar, yes, I know he actually was just an alcoholic during the Supersize Me thing, and that's why his health was so bad. It wasn't because he was eating McDonald's. But anyway, he did a show called 30 Days where it was like, it'd be like someone who fucking hates immigration has to live with like an immigrant, like, and it's like supposed to kind of try to like get to know like the other side of people and the humanity of people or whatever. Maybe the Wii in our house will help me see the gaming humanity of the Wii, because I've never seen it. And you want to talk about hating Mario Kart? I was so bad playing Mario Kart with that damn thing because it was motion controlled. And I was just moving the Wiimote around and it was stupid. But anyway, we'll see. Maybe things will be different. But yeah, so you settled on Metroid. That's been fun. You've been liking Bravely Default 1 after only playing 2. So I'm glad that's worked out for you, because I wasn't sure if I don't know like much about Bravely. Like is 1 work? You know what I mean? Like if it would feel good to still go back. But
I am hopeful. Like so far, it seems like it's kind of similar formula, right? Like obviously, I think they built on it for 2 and sort of seeing like the roots of everything now in 1. But yeah, no, so far so good.
Yeah. As for myself, I haven't played nearly as much Switch 2 as you because I've been spending a lot of that time at SGF. But yeah, I'm having fun with my Switch 2. Again, I still think launch lineup week. There are some things about the Switch 2 that I don't know. Like I'm still figuring out like what I feel about it, because I haven't gotten to spend as much time with it. Like in terms of, especially like handheld, haven't played it really at all handheld yet. So I don't know much about battery life, ergonomics, how it's going to feel. But the one thing that I am really enjoying right now is the rush of people playing, even if there's not much to play. So like the Mario Kart thing, it's like, this is the time to be in on Mario Kart, because this is like all anyone's playing, because all anyone can play. And it's fun to like be involved in that and like get people's friend codes again and like be in that experience. And just having like a new console is also making me, which this seems kind of dumb in a way, but I'm sure some people, and I don't know if you can relate to this because you're kind of gaming all the time, but I feel like reinvigorated to game because I have this like new console, even though the console's like essentially the same as like what the Switch 1 was, but just like, okay, well, like, let me see what other, hit the eShop, check the sales. They did improve the eShop. It loads a lot better, which is cool. But yeah, like I feel a bit of like reinvigoration, if that's a word, for gaming on my Nintendo device. And then fun fact, the Switch 1 was so like long of a lifespan and so old that it existed before we knew each other, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no,
that's wild.
This is wild to think about. Yeah.
And now we're here, one Joy-Con in each hand, fighting over what makes a game suck or not for Nintendo. But yeah, so that's been cool. We'll see how Switch 2 goes. SGF, you checked out the live show or whatever. I know you did a little bit, like you went to the Mix as well, which is like the indie, it's like the media indie exchange event that happens, and maybe played some games there. But yeah, was there anything from the live show that stood out to you that you're looking forward to?
I think there were a lot of games not for me at the live show. Like there's, we got the one thing that there are things that I feel like are like just one step away for me. Like was it Marvel Comic Invasion? It's like Marvel beat 'em up kind of thing. They kind of showed some stuff there. Felt that boxing was like looked really cool, but it's like I don't want to play like a punch outy kind of game.
Yeah, I don't really like punch out.
It looks cool. Killer Inn was like one that I thought was cool. It's like a little murder mystery kind of like social game, but it's like I'm not gonna play that. I think the concept is cool.
Yeah, because the fact that it's like multiplayer. Yeah, like I don't want to play that.
And then they did have some that were like, oh no, this is definitely me. Like the Lego Voyagers. I think we'll definitely probably play that. It looks really cool. I'm like looking through a list.
Out of Words. I think I'm down to play that.
Could be cool. Yeah. Definitely want to try that. I've played some of the Mafia games before. I didn't play the most recent one, Mafia 3, but I played like 2 and like a bit of 1. Really like 2. Not sure how I feel about just playing another Mafia game. Like it's kind of like I'm excited in theory, but will I actually be excited to play it? Who knows? Saw some Mina the Hollower, which cool. I'm down to try it. I got it in the fantasy draft, so hopefully it does good.
Oh yeah.
And then Mixtape. I know, like, which you'll probably talk a little bit about.
Really, you're interested in Mixtape?
I'm interested. Yes, is the right word to use there. Not excited, not eager, but interested. It's like, oh, okay, it looks kind of cool. Yeah, and then like there's stuff that wasn't necessarily there, but kind of like tangentially mentioned, like the new James Bond game. I want to play that. I'm excited for that, and I saw like next to nothing for it. I feel like, and then just like a lot of stuff that is.
I forget. Are you a Resident Evil girly or?
I liked Village. I really liked Village.
Okay. Did you play 7? No, you kiddn't. It was too scary for you. No, I started.
Yeah, and fuck no. The Baker, no.
It's so good though. Like
I'm sure it is, and I'll never know.
Are you? This is like such a messed up question to ask. Are you sure it's too scary for you?
Yeah, because I don't like being scared. I don't like getting scary.
What's so big strong?
No.
Why scared? Why scared of
Village
so big
is not scary. Village is like.
No, Village isn't that scary.
Suspenseful, a thriller kind of thing. It's very catch and release of tension. The Baker being in that house, creepy. It was just all full. You were wading through creepiness. You could feel it in the air, and I didn't like that.
I will say, watching you play it when you tried to play it, it felt scarier than when I had played it.
Yeah,
maybe you're building it up too much. You know
maybe.
Try it again. Lights on the TV. Like I don't know.
Like if you could turn on like an unlimited ammo and can't die, then
you might be able to. Can you not?
I don't know.
But also, you don't start with the gun in that game yet.
Yeah, so I gotta punch the guy. I also don't like unkillable enemies, and I know that like the Father Baker or whatever is like he's like a Mr. X kind of thing where he's just like kind of chasing you around the house.
Not always.
I don't. Either way, any of that.
Not
I just
unkillable.
don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like any of that.
But he's not unkillable.
I don't like any of that. I don't like looming big bad.
But you played the one with Mr. X though, and you didn't care about Mr. X? Oh, I thought you did.
No.
I don't find Mr. X that scary. People are like, oh, he's really tall. Everyone's really tall to me. I'm 5 feet tall. He has a stupid hat on. He's not
just
scary.
Don't like the idea of I can't take my time. I want to be methodical in these things.
That's always Resident Evil. Well, okay, that's fine. So, it is like one of the best ones.
I do not like what the formula is
So do you think 9 will be too scary for you?
I don't. They barely showed anything in there, so who knows? They showed a opening cutscene.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't show anything. Yeah, they really didn't show anything. I don't know why they
some
didn't
white
show
lady
anything.
I don't know who is in the lore
At an office
somewhere.
or something, yeah.
It's like I don't know. Is she a cop?
No,
ACAB,
no,
right? What do you
right.
mean? She's
Well,
a
everyone
super
in
cop.
Resident
She's
Evil
FBI.
is like a cop.
I guess it is true.
Yeah.
But not Ethan Winter.
Yeah, he was just like some guy. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
So yeah. So maybe right. Maybe I'll try Resident Evil Requiem. I like the integration of 9. It's
Me
kinda
too.
cool
I
in there.
really love that. It's so
cool. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff shown. Very little of it was like this is definitely an Isaiah game.
Yeah.
But enough of it was like, oh, it's kind of cool that I could see other people being excited for.
All right. Well, I got my handy dandy notebook of SGF. I'm going to kind of rapid fire through stuff I played. But if you have any questions, jump in and ask if it's like a game you're interested in. I think a lot of these games are not you games, but I think a couple of them are. I checked out Supermassive's Directive 8020 upcoming game, even though I'm behind on their games. It seems cool. Fidelity seems higher. They have a new, forgive me if it's not new because I didn't play their Saw game that they made. It wasn't literally a Saw game, but it was basically Saw. They have a rewind thing now where you can, on some decisions, rewind and like choose a different decision.
Oh.
They
Doesn't
also
that kind of defeat the purpose?
A little bit, but I think it's meant to account for, one, it's optional, and two, I think it's meant to account for like, there are times in those games where you're like, okay, well, I feel like I literally messed up. Like I got a text message on my phone. I like put the controller down, like that kind of thing. So I could see it being nice for like those moments. Or for people that maybe some people play these games with like friends who don't play a lot of video games who are like kind of really bad at them. So maybe just kind of making it a little easier. Like, I don't know. I'm not mad at it. But it was interesting. And another thing with this game is like one of the first kind of, so basically the conceit of this game, it's like, I think I forgot if it's space or what, but it's like one of those like kind of mimicky things where like there's like a monster, kind of like okay, it can shape shift, so you have to kind of like, which I think could be really fun. And like one of the early things is like there's somebody in the crew and it's like, okay, are they like this monster or not? And you decide if you shoot them or like let the scan finish to see if they're an alien or not. And the team told me that that's always different. It's like randomly generated, which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like it really. I don't know if I like it being always different for that specific part. But really the thing that stood out to me was demo short. Demo was super short. So it's hard to be too complimentary either way because I'm like, what was really short? It is like kind of look and feel more like a traditional game where I think a lot of the Supermassive games have felt kind of like stiff. Like to control a little bit. Like this had like stealth and the stealth felt like very like this could like if I showed you this game and didn't tell you it was a Supermassive game, you wouldn't know. Which is no shade to Supermassive's games, but it's just kind of like they have a very specific kind of like stiff style to them that I think this kind of goes away from a little bit. So we'll see. I played Moonlighter 2. Roll good. General flow is good of the game, but I felt like the base attack was very sluggish. The kind of like you have your broom and you like stab forward. So I worry about the game feel being a little bit too stiff. Like I wanted something a little snappier, a little more like Cult of the Lamb kind of feel. And this is more like a little rigid. But it has some really cool stuff going on where you're like going and you're getting things and then you're putting them in your shop and they have fun mechanics like in your inventory because you can only hold so much stuff that you take from these runs. You'll have stuff like this thing will burn items that are placed to the right of it. And then you can have like a buff that's like each item you burn, you gain money. So there's like kind of some fun things going on with like the inventory management of that one. Dose of Divas is the new game from the team that made Thirsty Suitors. The team very explicitly said, we took what we learned from Thirsty Suitors and tried to make like a bit of a better game. Thirsty Suitors is a game where I was very into the idea of it. It was like kind of like fight your exes vibe, but I don't know, like mechanically it didn't really flow together. I think this is doing a better job. I don't know if it's doing a good enough job, but it's still in that like turn-based RPG kind of vibe of like you have your QTEs and it's all about like making this food and you have like this food truck and you go around and you like make food for people and there's like cool quick time events with the food. It felt like more cohesive than Thirsty Suitors did, so I enjoyed that aspect of it, which was like part of what the developer had like commented on. Like they mentioned specifically, they used the term more genre comfort, like the ideas feeling like they fit together. And I think they achieved that. Again, I don't know how strong the end product's going to be, but I was like, this is solid. That's where I landed. Toem 2, fire, hot fire. These people can make games. If you like Toem 1, Toem 2 is a must. Did you play Toem 1?
Yeah.
Not that into it?
No. I really liked it. I got to the end and hit like a bug with the trophies.
Oh, yeah, so but you did finish it,
I did finish it, and it was good.
I think the ending of that game is very beautiful.
I don't remember too much about the ending.
That's such a... It's like so cool.
I think you just kind of like...
No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. I love that game. Another fun one. They had like little puzzles, and you're taking pictures. It's black and white, isometric, but you can rotate like the area. Funnily enough, the developers have not played Captain Toad, which I think I told them to go play Captain Toad. I don't know if they will because it reminds me of it. Blighted is a new game from the Guacamelee team. Drinkbox,
yeah.
Also a little stiff.
Cool.
Also a little stiff. We're gonna play it for sure because it's a co-op game, and we played Nobody Saves the World together.
Yeah, that game was
and that
awesome.
was a great time. This is kind of leaning more Soulsy, which like when I sat down and they're like, "Are you familiar with Souls games?" I was like, what's that meme I keep using from Marriage Story of like Scarlett Johansson
crying Scarlett, yeah,
tired crying Scarlett Johansson? I'm like, yeah, I'm familiar with Souls games. Like I'm not a big Souls girl, so it's like, and this isn't like heavily Soulsy, but it's drawing on Souls influence in terms of like some aspects of difficulty. It also has like a thing where I forgot what they call it, but and I forget if you played Sekiro. Sekiro has this thing where like the worse you do, like a thing changes, and this has like the better you do, like the more intense the combat. It was not bad by any means. I just wasn't like enamored with the feel of it. Like the feel is a little bit stiff, but I'm looking forward to playing it with you because that's like a game we play together. I played the remaster of Gears of War, which was already a remaster. It looks nicer. I'm not a big Gears girl, so that was kind of like a wash. I did get hands on though with the ROG Xbox Ally X, which is like a horrible name. Console itself, low-key was impressed by it.
Oh, okay.
It felt really nice. Cool. It is actually heavier than the Steam Deck though, which is crazy. But it doesn't feel heavier than the Steam Deck.
Like the distribution? Yeah,
I think the distribution feels nice. It has like a nice grippy texture to it. The shape is more controller based. It's just has Windows on it essentially. It's got the Xbox UI, the Windows, the Steam stuff. Basically they're trying to more consoleify this handheld PC market. The question that I have is how successful are they going to be on making it like dumb friendly? Because I love my Steam Deck. I don't plan on getting this console. I'd love if someone sent me it, and I would probably play it if they did, but I don't plan on buying it myself because I already have the Steam Deck.
Sure.
But a lot of my Steam Deck time has been handing it to you and you making it work for me. Not that it's terribly hard to work, because I just play indies on that.
Yeah,
if you're playing AAA, you have to like mess with the settings a bit more. But yeah, I'm someone that wants simplicity. It's why I crave console. And if they're trying to achieve that simplicity, I think that could be good. They notably, though, don't have a trackpad because part of what their thing is going for is like all controller setups for all these games.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things where if you're more like, respectfully, because I'm this, if you're a console dumb, this might be a little more appealing to you than a Steam Deck. But if you're looking for like something that kind of like better, I mean, the Steam Deck, I think still just, it has like a lot to offer, in a way. So yeah, that's that. My ROG stuff where I circled the name Ally X because I was like, this is really like hard to say. Ambrosia is a game where it's like, it's a cleaning Metroidvania game, which sounds like it'd be really cool. In practice, it felt a little visually overwhelming. It's a lot of like, they're kind of going for like Power Wash Simulator mechanics, but you're like in space.
Oh.
It's just like, you're like kind of cleaning up. It'll be stuff like there's like almost like tree branches and stuff, and it's like, oh, they're connecting to a door, and you have to like clean it out to like open the door and stuff. It just like didn't really grab me as much as I wanted to, because I love cleaning in games, and it just kind of felt like it just felt visually a little overwhelming. And I was like, how far in the game are we? And they're like, this is the second level, or like second area, second thing. It's like the second thing you do, and I'm like, that's kind of like a lot. Didn't hate it, but I just didn't. It wasn't a big standout to me. I played Grave Seasons. Is this actually my notes for Grave Seasons? It is. Yes, it is. I think Pillar versus. I've got to fix this handwriting. Yeah, yeah, this is Grave Seasons. It's a farming game, but it's like a horror element to it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I remember seeing something about it.
Now, there are 2 games that are like this, because there's another game that I didn't play called Fractured Blooms that's made from the Doki Doki people.
That's what I was thinking of then.
Can't comment on Fractured Blooms. Also very interested in that game. This is a separate game that, funny enough, Isaiah, the cover of this game is giving like very much like anime thirst trap. Like, this is the cover of the game. It's like this guy who looks like kind of hot, but you can't see his face, so maybe he's ugly. And he has like a knife, and it's like, and he has like his little ponytail. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, you're trying to thirst trap like the girlies, the girls and the gays, I suppose. But anyway, it seems cool. It's like it's a narrative farming sim. So these are always hard to demo. I think the demo did a pretty good job at showing you some of the stuff. Like, you can break into like people's houses and like snoop, because you're trying to like, which you might like this game actually, because it's like a murder mystery thing. Like there's like a supernatural serial killer in the town, and you're trying to figure out what's going on and who it is. And you can like break into people's houses and snoop through their stuff. But like that has consequences if you get caught. But it also has like a regular farming sim thing to it. Like, it has a full like farming sim system of like but like the things you do have weight. My colleague on Remap, Patrick, actually spent a lot more time talking to like the designers of the game, and like I did an interview with them. And like through that, he mentioned that there's more stakes, like kind of like old school Harvest Moon. I hope I'm not misattributing which game it is, because I know there's like Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons, of just like what you do really matters. And there's weight to like, not literally this, but it's like whether or not you pick to plant tomatoes is going to like change shit, you know, like that kind of vibe a little bit. Again, that's a fake example, but and the game, the demo is mostly you kind of like killing time. You know, you could pick up garbage or talk to somebody, and like there's like, you know, you can give gifts, so there's like a romance implication and stuff too. And then it ends with like you seeing this really horrific scene of this monster like killing somebody from the town. But what that demo does not exist in the game. That was specifically made like that sequencing to like give you vibes, but it's not like you're gonna play it and like that thing exactly is gonna happen.
Sure.
So I think it was a really good demo in that sense, because I think these are really hard to demo, because it's like, how are you going to, you know, it's a farming game. So it's like, we kind of need like a lot of hours to like, but I think they did a good job showing you like kind of what was to be expected. And there looks like there's like a lot of like cooking things in that and all that. Like, and the art looks really nice. Like, you know, I don't know if we are going to have time to put stuff on there. You know, there's like a million pictures for these games. I'm excited for this game. I'm actually going to wish list it now before I forget. So,
cool.
Isaiah, there's an Escape Academy 2. It's good.
Yeah.
We need to play it. I had to play it by myself, and I was not as good as I was with you. New Onimusha, it looks dope. It looks like a fighty fight game. They showed off the parry a lot, and I said maybe I should excuse myself because I probably can't play it. But it's got cool stuff, like you can stagger an enemy and hit them in a strategic spot. Like if you hit them in the head, you get more. You do more damage to them. But if you hit them like in the side or something, you get more orbs, and the orbs can be used for special and stuff. It looked rad, but I don't know if I'll be able to play it. They showed me RE9. It looks like it might be too scary for you, so maybe like see what I think and then see where it goes from there. But honestly, they just showed like a monster chasey kind of vibe thing, which felt very like rehashed of old ideas. Frankly, I was disappointed by the RE9 hands-off demo. I think they also did a hands-on of the same demo. For like an elite number of people. Like I talked to so many people, and they're like, I didn't get in to see it. They were like, I think there's like 7 people that like played this game. So like, hey, like read their coverage. Like shout out to them for getting that. Like that was not anyone I knew. Like everyone else was just like, we just watched it. It didn't look like I'm so excited for RE9. It didn't look like it had an identity to the game very much. Pragmata looks cool. You hack enemies and then you can shoot them. And the hacking is, which we'll talk about a lot when I eventually play Henry Hatsworth. The hacking, it's a translucent UI that pops up, 5x5 grid. You want to get to one green node and you move using the face buttons on the PlayStation, like circle X or like circles to the right, X is down. And you just have to hit the green to like open up to like shoot them. But there's other nodes where if you go through them, you do more damage. And seemingly the game's going to introduce even more nodes that have like other effects and stuff. And you have to do that while fighting. So it's like a fun flow. Played Mixtape. Incredible game. Very much like a game that is about licensed music and not just like including licensed music. And they had like really cool weird mini game stuff, like including one where you're like remembering a character's first kiss, and it's like a bisection of their faces, and the tongues are like moving around, and you move them with each analog stick. It's really disgusting. And that's almost every game I played. Last one was Snap and Grab, also an Annapurna joint. Cool idea. Not in love with the gameplay. It is the idea of this game. It's like Hitman meets Toem. Because you're taking pictures and you're trying to like do a heist. So like for instance, like maybe the heist is like get the diamond. So you start out and you take a picture of the diamond, and then you run through the heist. Like you open up the menu and you're like execute heist. Like see how it would go. And you see, oh my God, the security stops you. You're gonna have to figure something else out. Then you're back in the same spot, and it's like, okay, maybe you take you figure out how to distract the security guards. So you take a picture of a thing to distract them, and then you put that in like the timeline. You run through it.
Oh, okay.
And admittedly, maybe it's more fun when you play it like on your own, like, which no shade to like the person like at the booth that was like very much kind of like, okay, here's how you do like this.
Yeah.
It was, if it might be better than it demoed. During the demo, it just felt like a little bit, I don't know, like a little hard to get to know. Like I felt like it was difficult to explore the different things I could do. I had a hard time remembering where things were, like for doing certain things. It just felt like I wasn't in love with it. But maybe it is worth giving another shot where I can have like more of my own free time to like get creative with trying to take pictures and see what they do. But like, I don't know. Like it was a very like, you know, getting you through the demo kind of demo. So maybe like that hand-holdingness stopped me from enjoying more of the creative aspects of the game.
Sure.
But I think that was literally every game I played. So thank you for indulging my my solo. What I don't know. Hopefully 15 minutes max. I had to try to like. Not had to, but I wanted to go through all of these because it's just like I did play a lot of games.
Sure.
Yeah. So obviously, I don't know. People want to know more about them. Ask, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. And I saw Kelsey play the Rataton, the new Patapon game, but I'm really bad at that game. Actually, we played it together, but I'm really bad at those games. So that's a not for me. But if you like Patapon, it's the same kind of game. So I think, and it's very cute, really nice art. I'm just like, I don't know, my guy's always dying. I don't really know how to keep these guys alive. Yeah, so some cool stuff. Walked away with some things to be excited about from SGF, but yeah, that was SGF. That was the Switch 2, and we won't know until later. Is Switch 2 actually good, and were these SGF games actually good?
Oh man, the year and then 5-year retro is gonna be crazy.
I know we gotta do our Switch 1. We should do a Switch 1 review because I've been saying that now is the time to review Switch 1.
Yeah,
we finally know it all
in its entirety.
And now for the not game section of the show, though I also very briefly for games have to mention, just because I think I did not verbally literally mention this. I really liked Pragmata a lot. I mentioned what the gameplay was, but I didn't actually say if I liked it. It might end up being basic, but I did really like that game. And now onto the not game section. Yeah, we're going to be talking about going to the Dodgers game and also talking about some potential sports card game era ?
We have a lot of eras in the show.
Yeah, and then seeing what's going on with that or whatever. Yeah, it's weird that I was surprised to see looking back on episodes because we went to a Dodgers Mets game during the SGF lead up because my colleagues from MinMax, Kelsey and Jacob, came into town, and one thing that we generally try to do, and like I'm always a big fan of, is when people come through for SGF, for us to do like one non-video game direct thing. I think it's just fun for like, I know I like doing something outside of my work stuff when I'm on a work trip. And then because our big thing is the vlog, I do think it's good vlog content for us to do just like literally anything that is, that can just kind of differentiate it from the other years. So, and Kelsey is like a huge Mets fan, huge baseball fan. So much so that she actually went to the game right before the game we went to. Yeah. Which I'm like, that's wild. Like, okay. I mean, it's not wild, but like, it's a lot. So I'm like, okay, I feel it though, because I would, do something similar. They don't have back-to-back soccer games like that, so it's not really a thing that we even would even make sense for
Could
us
do,
to have
yeah.
done, but Slay, I get it. So and then that's when I was looking back on our episodes and realized, we've talked about like almost every other like kind of sport in LA. And I guess we don't go to that many of any other than the Galaxy. We don't attend that many of any of the other like sports events. So I'm like, I guess just since we've done the show, we haven't like been to a game yet. So what's your like baseball background, and what's with you and have you had a team before the Dodgers? Are the Dodgers your team now? Are you watching that? Like, give me the rundown on your baseball history.
I haven't really like been a baseball viewer for a while. Like I'm even still foggy on like how some of the rules work. Like, mostly, I understand, 3 strikes you're out, right?
From the song, obviously.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out.
I get the whole, bases are loaded. I get innings. I get, all that
Bottom
jazz.
of the ninth.
Walking a player and all that jazz. I even understand like some of the like meta game about like why you would do some of those things, right? And like when's a good time and to do something, why people might shift on the field and kind of like, be in their positions and everything like that, stealing bases, all that jazz. So the most of the sport I get, there's some sort of like edge case rules or things that I just don't understand. Nothing to not be able to enjoy the game. But that said, I still like haven't really ever gone to that many baseball games. I hadn't gone to my first baseball game, I think, until I was in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
I think it was an internship. So like I was in college and then I was working in San Francisco, and like as a part of the internship, they took us to a Giants game. And it was like, oh, this is cool. First baseball game, had the little suite and they had the food and everything. It was great. I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of see the perks of that. And, if you've been to San Francisco, the Giants game is like right downtown, pretty easy to get like to and from it with like public transportation. So like even, basically it was at the work, like, the work office is also downtown. So it was like no issue getting home after. Like I thought it was just a great experience. I was like, I'm going to go to so many more baseball games if I ever live out here. Came back out here to live, fucking never went to a baseball game again while I was in San Francisco. And then the pandemic happened and we moved down here to LA, which is like more where the Dodgers and Angels, right? I think it is. So, I tentatively try to be more aware of baseball games now. Like I have, the Dodgers schedule in my calendar, so I know when they're playing. I think they're playing today actually, and it's like
they're always playing.
Yeah, that's true. They are always.
There's so
playing.
many games for baseball. Is the thing. Like, it's too much content.
Yeah.
It's the One Piece of sports.
Yeah, no, facts. Never ending, always going. So I want to be more aware and try to watch more baseball. Dodgers now that I'm here in LA. But kind of, man, I think this is just like a blanket problem across most sports outside of MLS, is that there's just not an easy way to get all of a sport. Like the MLS pass with the Apple TV stuff, sure, you could argue it's like a little expensive. It's like $200 a year, or cheaper if you wait throughout half the season. Kind of they drop the price half for the rest of the season, stuff like that. They prorate it to a degree, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever, cool. But if I pay that, I get every MLS game. It doesn't matter what team I'm a fan of. Doesn't matter what time. I can watch them. I can go back and catch up at highlights, all that jazz included. One price, one app.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other sport that has that. Maybe
League
WNBA.
Pass? League Pass for NBA?
I think there might still be like blackouts or something like local networky things, I thought.
I have no idea. I'm going to text my brother on the side and be like, League Pass all games? Question mark?
Maybe it is.
Yeah, I don't know offhand.
And I think the WNBA, I think you can just like watch whatever WNBA games. But like for the major sports in America, like, American football, basketball is possible.
Yeah.
Baseball, definitely not. Like, I just want to be able to pay an app one monthly fee or yearly fee, and I just get the sport. Why are we jumping between networks? Why are there so many contracts and exclusivity clauses and things like that?
It gets expensive and annoying. I know that's one thing that's been keeping us from watching more of Angel City, which is the women's soccer team here in LA, because their games are split across 3 different places. I think one is like through something with Amazon, and the other 2 I don't even know. Like, I don't remember. Yeah, so that's definitely annoying. You're from Buffalo.
Mhm.
What's going on with baseball over there? Y'all got baseball over there?
I think we have a minor league team, or at least had a minor league team.
What's the nearest team to you then? Like,
nearest major
like MLB
league team?
Yeah.
I don't. Does Toronto have a team? It's like kind of the next closest like major city that will have.
You're actually
sports
not allowed to
teams
ask me
kinda.
anything about baseball during the segment, just as of like it.
I'm gonna guess there's a Toronto team. If not, I'm sure there's like Philly or Columbus or that, like an Ohio kind of team. And if not that, then I guess New York, like New York City. Between like
I will say for
Mets and Yankees
minor
and
league,
stuff.
your guys' minor league team looks cute. The Buffalo Bisons.
Yeah.
Is this
Hell yeah. Yeah.
This is your man. For audio, this is a bison playing baseball, which is objectively just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I guess it's like I didn't realize how baseball privileged I've been. I'm not a big baseball person, like by any means. As a kid, I played. Did you ever play baseball as a kid? I played Little League.
No,
when I was a little lad.
I had a cousin who played for like high school, maybe even a little bit of college.
It's a great way to learn that you need glasses, is what I think sports has.
Yeah.
I think youth
trying
sports,
to track a small ball.
I think
moving
youth
very fast
sports
towards
really
you.
opened up a lot for a lot of people, including the fact that they cannot see. Yeah, when I played Little League, I was really bad because I never swung like at all. Like I'd go up to bat and I think I swung like literally 5 times the whole season. Even there was like a point where one of the opposing coaches was like, just throw it up the middle like she's not going to swing. And he was yelling it to the pitcher and I didn't swing. Yeah. Because I didn't swing. Because I could never tell when it was in the box or not.
That's so funny.
You're so mean for laughing at that. I was scared of the ball. And also besides the fact that I was scared of the ball, I could never tell when it was in the box. I never understood that. I could I just, and I understand it conceptually. Oh, it's from this part of your body to this part. But like with it coming through, I never knew what was going on with that. Didn't know what was happening. Yeah, my big claim to fame was one time I got like, I don't even know if we won that game. I think we must have won it. I bunted the ball and like that really helped the team that day. And I got the game ball that day from my bunt.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
That was my big moment. And
where's that ball now?
It's fucking in the garbage can. Someone threw it out a long time ago. And my dad was like, if you just do something like that every week, you would like not suck ass basically. And I was like, got you. And then didn't matter.
Didn't do that.
Yeah, didn't matter. Also, famously, this is another thing you have in common with my dad. You don't have much in common with my dad, but you got a couple little things. One is like wanting the car to be clean because my dad would always have me sit on like a towel after the game so that my dirty ass wouldn't be on the car.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm just saying that like, that's a you thing
dusty,
too.
Dirty,
my dusty, dirty thing. Yeah, my
gunk and sweat, and everything all over you. Yeah,
my dusty pants and all that. But yeah, I think. I can't remember if I believe I did get hit in the head with a ball once as well I'm pretty sure that happened to me. The fact that I don't remember, I know is funny because it's like, oh, you don't remember getting hit in the head. Now that one of my teammates got hit in the head with a bat, I think they had their helmet on though. So but, like it was like that. Yeah. So
I mean, it's still
it was a rough season for the Kansas City Royals. Let me tell you, that was my team. We got 4th place that season. We did get a trophy. Everyone got a trophy, no matter what place you got. Ours said 4th on it. We were 4th in the season. How many teams were there in the league? Probably like 9 or something. I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, anyway. Yeah, it was Park District stuff. It was mixed, like it was a mixed team. It wasn't like a all boys, all girls. Because whenever I told people I did Little League, they're like, do you mean you played softball? No, I played Little League. We were 9. Who cares? We're all just children running around. It was mostly boys on the team. There were a couple girls though. It wasn't like
yeah, sure.
It was just, I don't know, my mom signed me up, something to do in the summer kind of vibe. I don't remember, and I have like no good memory of my childhood. My brother could probably speak better to this. I don't think I expressed interest in playing. I think it was just like a
thing that you just
a thing
got
to
run
do.
into.
Like, I don't know, like I just did it. Like my big sport as a kid, I liked playing basketball a lot because my brother liked playing basketball. Wasn't great at that either, but was better than I was at baseball.
Sure.
Was kind of like an inverted Jordan in that way. I started with baseball with the basketball, because of the gambling. Anyway, Yeah, but thinking about like baseball history, I realized that I'm pretty privileged having lived in Chicago. You know, we have 2 baseball teams. But also like even though I'm not really into baseball, like stuff like, you know, when we went to the Dodgers game most recently, there were like a lot of schools there. It's like, oh, like that's, you know, people in our group were commenting on like, oh, it seems like really cool, like to get to do that like as part of school. And I'm like, yeah, I was like not an insanely regular occurrence, but we had stuff like in my high school, we had like the Cubby Walk where we would walk from the school to the stadium for like, I think it was for charity or maybe just health or something. Yeah. And we'd like, I think it was optional. You sign up for it like on a half day. Like we had these half days, like that were seminar days. And then we would go and watch the game. And I'm pretty sure I went to see like a Sox game probably as a student too. So it's like,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like, yeah, this is like what we have, you know, kind of thing. But, yeah, that's like a fun thing to get to, I guess, be exposed to and like grow up around and all that. And like I guess LA is similar to Chicago in the sense that like everyone is like somewhat involved in baseball. Obviously there are people that are like the diehard lifelong fans who are like watching all the games and are really locked in. You know, they're consuming the content, they're reading the paperback when people would read physical newspapers, and they're like, you know, my brother is was very heavily like a Cubs fan. I guess probably still is. I presume. My dad was into the White Sox, so they'd have, you know, their back and forth, and you know, seeing them win, and then eventually the Cubs won, and then I watched, you know, the end of that World Series game, because that was like the big thing happening in my apartment, because like my brother really cared, and then we got kind of swept up in it because it's like, well, everyone's there. It's like it's almost like it wasn't as like big as the Super Bowl, but like for what it was and like the Cubs history. It was a like my friends came over to watch that game and they didn't watch baseball. Like we all were just like, yeah, let's watch this game. Like why not? You know? And anyway, so yeah, big sports towns all around. But I feel like the Dodgers are similar in that I think if you have a baseball team where the logo is the city, you know, New York, LA, it's like obviously like I joke that like when you move to LA, you're handed that one of those hats, like the Blue Dodgers hat. You know, there's a reason that Kendrick has Dodger Blue as one of the songs on his album GNX. It's like, I think more so than, and again, Chicago kind of has a similar vibe with like Cubs, Sox, all that stuff. It's like, it's not just like baseball. It's like about the city and like being part of the city and like a connected thing in the city. And obviously the Lakers are very dominant in that sense too. Like, you know, but yeah, the Dodger stuff is like pretty, runs throughout, like permeates kind of like I think LA culture in a lot of ways. But yeah, I mean, how has it felt being here versus elsewhere with baseball? Like, do you kind of feel similarly, or are you just kind of like, I don't know, it's anything you can do? And I did go to a Giants game when I lived in SF as well, just for funsies. Beautiful stadium, like it being on the water is like super cool.
Good.
Yeah, it's like but I didn't go to that many games. I went to that one game, and I did the race where you go through the stadium as well, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's cool, right? Like, it is such a. I didn't realize how fun a baseball game could be, in that like they do a lot of like specialty night things, and like I think almost all the times we went, outside of most recently just because of SGF and the Mets and everything. It's like, oh yeah, we're going during like Father's Day night or Jackie Robinson jersey night.
Jersey. Now that was for our first game together, I think. For Dodgers.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty much every year, with some exception. This year I didn't as much because I'm like, we spent a lot of money on sports already with this soccer stuff. We don't need to go to and we can miss a Dodgers game this year, and we ended up going anyway. But yeah, I look at the calendar and I look for what is fun, which if you're like a non-sports person, but you're open to going to a sporting event, I suggest you always doing that. Because if you don't care about like seeing certain teams or something, I know like for you really want to see like a Lakers Warriors game, so you can kind of like get it all at once kind of vibe.
Hell yeah.
For me, if you don't care about sports, go when it's a fun night and you get a free thing. Like, and baseball has like a bunch of those. So yeah, we had Jackie Robinson jersey night, which is where we got our matching 42 jerseys.
Don't have like, you know, even like Hello Kitty night, like just like things that is fun for everyone. Like, you know, they have like sports stuff. They have, you know, Marvel night, Star Wars night, like all kinds of like
a lot of cultural nights. Like they have Pride nights. They have like Black History night. There's like a Mexican like Latino Heritage night. Yeah, they're just fun.
Yeah,
they're just fun to go to.
It's fun to, you follow the game. You get tons of breaks between like innings and things like that. Every so often, if something exciting happens, like someone steals a base or something, like it's a very good casual viewing sport if you are casual. You know what I mean? But you could also be into it and then like get more out of it.
I think the rough thing about it is a casual viewing sport, because I think it is like pretty chill. It's not like I don't know. It's not like too overwhelming. But I think the thing I've struggled with trying to watch baseball, and I think this game we just watched was the easiest game for me to watch because, again, Kelsey, baseball sicko, baseball expert, like was there to kind of answer some baseball questions I had of like, hey, like what's like, just like even just curiosities and things. And I think it helped me like watch the game a little bit more closely. Also, I think it's fun to, obviously there's many people that make it weird, but like it's kind of like if someone's really into a sport, it can be fun to go with them because they can kind of like, you can kind of feed off their energy of being excited and you feel like a little more invested in the game that way. But the thing with baseball that I've always struggled with is frankly zoning out, which I know sounds crazy because it's like people want to say, oh, you have a bad attention span because of your phone, that damn phone. No, I just like can zone out, like, and I will be in the stands. I'm not on my phone a lot when I'm doing like social things because I spend so much time on my phone, like chilling at the house. Like I just don't feel like the desire as much as I do when I'm just like chilling on the sofa kind of vibe. And I'll just start dissociating because I feel like there's nothing to look at. Because it just takes I feel like just sometimes it takes so long to do anything. It's like, okay, like you hear, and there's like only so much I can latch onto with like, they play the little walk-up song and then it's like, okay. And it's like, okay, well, I take the bat and I tap it to my foot. I crack my back real quick. I look. It's like, I don't know. I'm just like, I just feel like sometimes it just drags out and I'm like, what am I even looking at? And I just feel like I just start dissociating and I lose track of also. I think it's easy to lose track of what's going on because it is so slow that it's like, well, like who's up, what's going out, like we're at the bottom. And then, I have like glasses and like, I'm like kind of far. I'm like, what? We're at the top of the bottom of what? Like I can just lose track really easily. And I think that's
gotcha.
And I think that's the con of baseball. Like it is chill because it's slow, but it's also like a turn-based ass sport where it's like, it can get a little like dry in between the downtime. And I think with that, you can kind of lose track of what's happening versus like even me watching, like we went to that Kings game, which we talked about on the show. It's like, you're looking at the puck and you're seeing when does it go into the net. And I know there's more going on in the sport, but that's holistically what you're looking at. Well, here you're kind of looking at like, you cannot take a picture. Like, I mean, you kind of can maybe. So this is like a little bit ignorant maybe on my part, but like you take a picture of like the field and you like show me that, like, I don't know what's going on versus other sports is like, I can tell you what's happening. And here it's well, like, you kind of can, but you have to analyze it more. Okay. Well, is anyone on base? Well, how many outs are there? Who's coming up? Like there's more going on in like glancing. Like it's not a casually glanceable sport in the same way other than like, I guess if there's, on a bases loaded or something, someone's going up. It's like, okay, pay attention now. Cause like this could be like a big moment or whatever. So I find that's been the challenge to me for watching baseball as like a casual, but yeah.
No, that's fair.
I don't know.
I think it is one of the cool things about baseball is that it is a very transcribable, for lack of a better word, sport, which is like, I think great in, from the history of it, right? Like you can go back and read the plays or like read the snapshots of a game, who's at bat, who's on what base, what the inning is, how many fouls, how many balls, how many things like that. Like you can like paint a picture of what a game is like at any given moment, given the stats of it, which you just can't really do in any other sport because there's not just like the same kind of foundation to it. But in that sort of, again, transcribability, for lack of a better word,
it feels like a math
lose
sport.
A little bit. Yeah.
I feel like I'm looking at a lot of numbers.
You lose a little bit of art,
charts.
and you get a little bit more science, and it's like, oh well, I enjoy the art of the sport too. You know what I mean? It's very creative.
Yes, the sport, it does kind of give stock market a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And I'm kind of just like, what was that? I think too, it's gonna if I were to get more into baseball, which like I am drawn to some like of the players on the Dodgers. I was going to say the Galaxy because I'm so used to talking about the Galaxy. But I think I think to get more into it, which I'm not looking to pick up more sports if I'm being honest, because I already got my hands full with the soccer stuff and I'm still trying to like dig deeper in that. And then there's like again the women's team and there's like international teams, and like I feel like my plate's a little full with the soccer stuff. But I think if I were to get more into baseball, I think the thing I'd want to do next is learn, like, this sounds a little dumb maybe, but what makes these players good outside of like their obvious results? Like, how can I look at them playing and be like, oh, you're really good, you're doing a good job, outside of the fact that you're like, obviously if you like hit it, knock it out of the park, it's like,
sure,
that's good. And it's like, if it's like statistically this person does that a lot, it's like, oh, I guess they're really good. But like, I feel like, again, watching soccer, I can look at a player and be like, wow, like Painso, for instance, outside of whether he scores or not, like I can see him and be like, he's a really great player. He has incredible footwork. Like, look at how he's on the ball. Look at his speed. And I can like watch and enjoy that. Like, I enjoy watching him play even in a game that he doesn't score. And I want to like, I don't know how to do that with baseball, where it's like, what do you do? What am I looking at here? Like, what am I really looking at outside of like the obvious number go up? Like, I want to be able to enjoy more and understand more outside of like number go up. And I feel like when I look at a baseball field, they're just little dots walking around. I'm like, what am I looking at? I will say though, the outfit's incredible for baseball. The swag that you have of like wearing those little baseball like jerseys and stuff is very good. The hats are very good. It's a very swaggerific sport, and I respect that as someone that loves clothes and loves dressing up for a game. But yeah, like I want to be able to look at it more and be like, even when it doesn't go the right way, being like, oh, like this is what they did. And I feel like I don't have an appreciation for that yet. And I think it is hard to get more into the sport when you don't have that.
Sure.
So, but obviously you're locked in on soccer. Do you feel like baseball would be your next up, or would you skew more basketball? Like, I don't know, you did say you started watching. I did see you start watching out like when we were.
Yeah.
I don't know. We had like 3 screens going at once. So like I was playing a game, you were playing a game, and you had like the baseball game up on the laptop. And I said, oh, are you going to get baseball pilled? Like, what's going
on? I at least want to, and I kind of want this almost as like a blanket for like all the LA teams. Like, I want at least like no player names, no general who's up, who's down. Like, if we trade, like, you want
to be able to comment on whether Ohtani's pitching again or whatever. Like, someone asked, like, is Ohtani whatever? I'm like, don't ask me about Ohtani. I don't know.
When someone brings up like, Freddie or Mookie or Ohtani or like any of these like kind of star players, I want to be able to know like, oh, I know who they're talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know that they're a good player, a bad player, mid player, whatever. Like, they're on the up, they're on the down. Like, I want to be able to just have like my own conscious thought about the players in conversation, and not just a superficial regurgitation of what you hear kind of thing. Like, somebody asked me about.
So you want an opinion? You want to have an opinion on Mookie Betts?
Somebody asked me about
my
the
opinion
Lakers.
is I love him.
I know LeBron's good.
Got good vibes.
Luka's good, but I don't really know the rest of the team. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I like Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Is, again, trying to follow. Trying to follow like a little bit more like Lakers and stuff. It's like I want to just I like Austin Reeves. Thoughts.
Why do I like Austin Reeves? Because he's an exciting white on the team.
He's an exciting white. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I see him play and he does a good job when he plays. Like, it's just like, but I haven't seen him play that much either. So yeah. Well, I'll be interested to see if you can make it out the other side with like an opinion. I think opinion is a key thing where it's like, I have very general knowledge. Like, I know a couple key names and I know like you're good.
I'm not saying expensive. I need to, not to the level that I have with the Galaxy now, but if you tell me a name, I can tell you if they're on the Galaxy. I want to at least be able to do that for like a team in each major sport. Okay. Probably the Dodgers, probably the Lakers, maybe the Kings. Eventually, Kings is definitely like last on the list.
Yeah,
it's like,
though their jerseys are really high on my list because I mean they look really good.
They do look really good,
but they're expensive as hell too. I was like, that's a lot of money for I don't want to know anything about hockey.
Yeah, they are lowest on the list just from a like logistical standpoint, not from a like personal. Like, I grew up in Sabre Nation and everything. So it's like I've been surrounded by hockey almost more than second to like the Bills. Only,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they're definitely there. But Chargers, same idea. It's like, I don't know when I'm going to learn the Rams or Chargers team. I don't even know. I guess the Rams, like if I had to pick one. But that's like, honestly, that's below Kings. Like Kings is even
football is literally, I think I'm good. Yeah. I don't think I need football. And there's no shade of football. It's just like, I don't know. I'm not that interested. Maybe I think I could be one of. Also, football is kind of. It's like y'all are entering a lot of people permanently in the mind, and I don't know if Yeah. You know, I'm like maybe I just don't get involved. You know, and I watch the Super Bowl. It's not like I'm above football, but
sure, yeah.
But getting into other sports stuff for your birthday, we went to a new card shop opened up in the Valley.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I think it's
just Burbank Sports
Cards
or something.
Like
I think it's literally just called Burbank Sports Cards. I'll look up the name. There's 2 now shops in that area. This was the new one that opened up. Burbank Sports Cards. And it had been like on its way to open for what felt like forever. And then one day it finally opened and we're like, oh, we should go in there. And I didn't expect much because I'm like, I don't really care, but I figured to just go in for the vibes. And you ended up for your birthday getting 2 packs. You got you got like a one bigger pack and then one like Superstars kind of pack.
Yeah, just Topps Chrome. Both are from the 2024 league run. So Topps Chrome and then Topps Superstars, I think it is.
Yeah. I think collecting these little guys is going to be my road to like building my knowledge deeper in soccer because again, I've watched lots of soccer. We're season ticket members, but I still feel like I have a lot of room for growth in my soccer expertise. Getting to know the Galaxy roster on a deeper level. I'd like to know what I know about our heavy hitters, our faves, the Paintels, again, Peck. I've been a little disappointed in Peck this year, I'm not gonna lie, but like the Paintels, the Pecks, the Rickies, the Yoshida, the Aude. Like I want to know every player almost as well as I know like my favorites would be one goal I have. Another goal is learning more about formations. I don't know actually much about formations at all in soccer, despite watching a lot of it and like knowing generally what's going on the ball and everything. And then I'd also like to learn more about the rest of the league. I'd like to know. Yeah. I don't need to know every team the way I know the Galaxy, but I'd love to know who are like almost like my faves on every team. Yeah, like obviously I know like in Miami there's Messi. Sure. And then the Messi Nets, basically. but like what who to watch for, like who are the dangerous players in these other teams, and exciting players on other teams. And yeah, I think collecting these little guys, you can look at them, you can read about them on the back, you can Google. But what are some stuff that you pulled from here? I really got, frankly, your leftovers featuring Minnesota United, because that in my mind is like my team away from team through min-max. I know a lot of people in Minnesota, so it's like, you know what? Let's hang out with the Loons a little bit. Let's see what they got going on as like my team away from my team kind of vibe. But who do you got over there?
We got I pulled the man himself, Lionel Messi. A little Lionel Messi.
Love to hate him. Love
Beast
to hate
mode
him.
Card, which is pretty cool. Second to that, I got a Ricky Poosh. Again, this is 2024.
Whack Ricky as a result because you have the special holographic card, and so I got the normie card that you pulled after.
So it's pretty cool. I pretty much just wanted to keep all the Galaxy players for now, just kind of like start to
collect the team.
Collect the team.
Gotta catch them all. That's the
season
tagline.
Tickets holder, so every once in a while we have an opportunity where maybe we could get one of these signed or something like that.
We're about to pay our mortgage off with these Ricky Laboobos.
We got a Diego Fagundes card, which is pretty cool.
Got 2 of them, so now I get to have one.
Yeah. Got a Julian Alde. Pretty fun, pretty cool. He's like one of the U22 players. Is he still under 22? I guess he's 22. And then he wasn't a Galaxy in the 2024 season, but he's a Galaxy now. Christian Ramirez pulled his
age 22 right now.
Okay, cool. So I guess he's aging out of the U22. Ramirez when he was with Columbus Crew. So could be really cool, opportunity to get people as they come and go from the team and everything like that.
It's funny because with these cards, I was like, yeah, like give me the Minnesota United ones, and obviously I'll take the duplicates of the Galaxy so I can build my own for cheap. It wasn't my birthday, but I had to take the spillover, you know. And it's funny because we're gonna go to a Minnesota United game during the Min-Max meetup that's gonna happen. I gotta book those tickets probably super soon because I just want to knock that out for my to-do list. But I got Songbin Zhang, who is a forward on the team. And the way that getting this card, it's like a nice little, like, got a little kind of holographic background or whatever. I Googled this man instantly. I went on TikTok to start watching him play. And I'm like, this is going to be my new best friend. When we go watch this game, I'm going to get my Songbin Zhang jersey. And I'm now going to be Zhang fan number one. Like, why not? And it's funny because it's like, off what I have this card from him, but it's like, yeah, it's a way to like start to get to know this player. Like this is and there's a couple of Minnesota United players I've clocked as like, I've seen a couple of their games, obviously through like them playing the Galaxy, or maybe even just like sometimes for randomly for funsies, I'll turn it on or whatever. And I'm trying to like get a sense of like who my favorites from that team are. And then funnily enough, I pulled, I might say their name wrong, but Tamu Pukai, not really sure how to pronounce. And then, and they had like a really cool design on their card. And I was like, well, are they still in the team? Because this is last year's. They actually just like got transferred at the beginning of this year. And I don't know this man. Haven't really recognized him playing. I'm sure I've seen him play just in passing. Pulled this card immediately. Heartbroken that he's gone. Why? I don't know who he is. I don't like. I'm don't even live in Minnesota, but the way, but that's the power of the cards, baby. So I was curious to know. I know how I felt. You also very generously let us open some packs for fun, like me and my brother.
Oh man, dude.
How did it feel? And what's your brief history with cards in your life? Were you a cards boy growing up?
Growing up, collected Pokemon cards. Never learned how to play, but I just liked having the Pokemon cards because I like the Pokemon. Got older, actually I got into Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid after Pokemon. Did play Yu-Gi-Oh. Was more interested in like collecting the cards, trading, doing all the mechanics and everything, keeping up with things. Then had a huge gap until college when on the same internship where I first went to like a Giants game. I had a friend introduce me to Magic: The Gathering, which that's cardboard crack. Like that is it in a nutshell. I got so into Magic, so into collecting, buying, having, storing, building decks and trying out different strategies and playing together at lunch and after work and this and that. Eventually after the internship, y'all went back to college and stuff. Stopped playing, which is great because I could not afford to keep playing kind of thing. I want to get back into Magic now, but it's like one of those at one point maybe
we have to finish Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven's obviously keeping us from playing more board games because it's such a big game that lives under our table.
But we got a little bit into our Lorcana lore, right? It's a little taste of what the Magic real drug of choice might be like. We also at SGF got these Final Fantasy Magic decks, and maybe I do
own some Magic cards now.
We got some beginner decks that we can try out and refresh the rules or learn the rules, and so there's always an opportunity to get back into trading card collecting. There is just something euphoric about opening a pack of cards, and I don't know why, I don't know how. I'm sure that the science behind it. There's been studies, I'm sure, about why it feels good and the mystery and the what you get. Oh, is it good? Is it bad? Oh my God, get it PSA rated and all this jazz. It's just great. And I will say, as someone who's done like digital version of the games, right? Like there's the Pokemon trading card digital version, there's the Magic digital version, all that. Nothing compares to physically opening cards. Like you cannot replicate that. It is just so good. I will say now with these, I was a little disappointed in that I think it was the Topps Chrome series. The packs tiny. It's like 4 cards in a booster pack, and it's like, well, what's going on here? Like, what do you mean 4 cards? I don't get. Not even like 8, 9, 10, like 12, like 4, just 4 cards. So I don't know how into I don't know if this is like a Topps like kind of all sports kind of runs are, or The other one we had was like 8 cards to a booster pack. Yeah. So it was like, okay, like maybe there's just like a huge variance around here. I definitely want to be aware of that and kind of, get the most money for the most cards for my money kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I could totally see me getting back into doing some card collecting.
They also had, which I thought was really fun, on a more affordable and kind of down to like, not kill time, but like one thing I like about shopping is like, especially if you like lean more like fiscally conscientious, aka like you're a little bit broke, a little bit on a budget. It's like you need to put in more work. Like I feel like the less money you have in general, the more work you kind of put into stuff. And it's like with the cards, like they also had these big like boxes of just like random sports cards. So it'd be like basketball, and they have like 4 really big, like almost like what you get at the comic shop when it's like the singles and they're like cheap and they're just in the thing. So they have like 25-cent cards also that are like obviously way cheaper. I got like 2 of those just like on a whim. I got a PSG player and I forgot what player it was, but they had like this, I like the design of the card that it was like kind of comic booky. And I just got those for like the vibes. I'm like, just to feel something today, like whatever. Sure. But yeah, like my card history had some Pokemon cards as a kid. Also didn't really learn how to play. And that was it. I never had like a lot of Pokemon cards. I honestly feel like I had like, I don't know, a dozen. Maybe Edwin had more. I don't remember us having a lot. Maybe we did have the binder of like the OG, like 151. I don't remember if we did or not. I don't remember opening packs being like a big part of like my life as a kid, but maybe it was bigger than I remember it being. But yeah, I've always been drawn to like just having like fun faves. I know the cards also have value, which is like, it's not insane to me conceptually because everything is kind of just like made up. It's like, oh, we just decided this is value, this has value. But it's wild seeing like how much some of these cards go for, especially if they get like signed and they get graded, and they have all these like in the shop. They have, it's a fun store for just browsing and being curious about what stuff is worth a lot of money. Because in like nice bespoke middle glass containers, they have like stuff like, I don't know what I forgot what we saw, like
signed
a Pokemon that's worth like the one with Charizard's ass is worth like $9,000 or something. And they have like signed ones from athletes. I'm trying to see. I took a picture of a couple of them.
They had like some PSA like graded sort of
they had
breakout cards.
Mbappe, who was like a player that I really enjoyed kind of vaguely watching here and there. $9,500.
Yeah, I think that was the most expensive card we've seen.
Shining Charizard, first edition, 2002, $6,750. So it's like, some wild stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I like the idea of, I don't know if I'd ever do Pokemon. If I did Pokemon, I would just do it for funsies, for like shits and giggles. I would just do literal like the cutest cards, and I'd have a binder, which I've seen like people collect that way, where it's just like, I'm getting all the cuties, and you have like a binder of cuties. I could see doing that. I definitely think it'd be fun to have like the Galaxy and like other like soccer teams and like favorite players, and having like my own like pseudo collection stuff. I've also seen stuff. I haven't seen this widespread enough for me to easily purchase. So if someone knows where I can buy this, let me know, because I am interested in this. There are people that do almost like, it's like an eat a bag, but for cards. And they'll have like, it'll be like a purse, but I've only seen them like DIY, like made just like, oh, I just made it for myself. And it's like a purse where you can slot, like a clear bag where you can slot the cards. I would love doing something like that for the Galaxy. Cool. You know, we go to the games, I already have clear bags. I've also seen people do like really funky, just like creative art pieces with like the cards as well. So I could see, like, I'm a big fan of like using and enjoying things and liking them. So I'd love a way to like have them around with me in a way, not all the time or anything, but just like fun ways to like integrate them to like stuff I already have. So I'm going to look into that and stuff too. But yeah, I thought it was like really fun. Like I had a really fun time opening those cards last night, and it was dangersly fun. So
yeah, it is. We'll dangerous see. Is the key word there.
And then like seeing, I'm not gonna lie, seeing like, you know, back to that eBay live, seeing some of the values on the cards you opened, where it's like, could do a little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But they say like, what is the old saying? If you're don't get higher on your own supply. Yeah. And I wonder if does that apply to the cards? You know, I don't know. It was surprisingly fun to just like collect your little buddies.
Yeah.
My little soccer buddies. And yeah, like when Ricky appeared, it felt like he was in the room with us in my mind. I said, "Oh my God, it's Ricky!"
Honestly,
I was like, I yelled as if he like walked into a restaurant.
It
like,
was
Ricky's here.
Great because like the two polls that I really wanted, there were 4 polls in total. I think I would have loved to have. 2 of those being Ricky and Messi. So getting not only 1 Ricky but 2 Rickies and a Messi, great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Felt amazing.
The Messi poll was really incredible. Which for those who follow my content, yes, I both love and hate Messi. This is true. I'm very vocal on that. He's an incredible athlete, incredible player. I really hope that we got to stay season ticket holders just to watch Messi play next year because he's got to be back. Hopefully he's back here. But what I like to watch him play. I don't want to see him holistically succeed though in the league. I don't want to see him succeed
over me. Like it.
No, not even that.
I'm fine with him succeeding.
No, I don't want Inter Miami to win the championship. I got to be honest. I don't want them to win. I want it to take as long as humanly possible. Why? Because I'm mean. I'm a mean-spirited person.
We're saying the same thing.
Oh, I don't know. Are we not? Well, you make it sound like
if you go somewhere else, like if he turned into a galaxy, oh yeah, then sure, I want him to take the whole thing.
Oh, of course, because
like,
he's with us.
I want to see him succeed, just not over us.
Well,
is my thing.
Well, my thing is though, if Inter Miami is playing, I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone who would be good enough, but isn't LAFC. Like, I don't know. They're in the finals and they're playing against the New York Red Bulls. Because from last year, you want Messi, like you want Inter Miami to win that game. I want the Red Bulls to win that game.
I would say over the Red Bulls, yeah.
Oh no, I don't want because the reason I have a good reason though for
you just don't want to see him succeed.
I have a good reason for not wanting to see him succeed. Everyone dogs U.S. soccer like crazy, and I think him not being able to get them the title shows that you can't just waltz in here and get the title. And we got that last year with us winning, which was great. Double dub. Inter Miami didn't win and we won. Oh, that's incredible. But yeah, like that's the thing. And like I forgot what the other tournament was that we were in recently. It's like a mixed league. It's like Liga MX and MLS. There's a lot of tournament names, so I mix them up. They didn't win that one, and I also like that because like this whole, not even just America, this whole CONCACAF, this area of the world, people are like, they look down on it. They're like, why would I watch this inferior? Why would I debase myself with watching like this side of the world when I could see the greatest soccer in the world overseas? And overseas soccer is the greatest soccer in the world, but like. People act like the soccer here is hot garbage. And because of that, it's not an anti-Messi thing. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to see him be happy or something like that. But it's like, I have to root against you because what you represent. You represent overseas soccer, dog walking American soccer.
Okay.
So if you walked in here and you just start cleaning up, everyone's going to be like, yeah, see? The international old god can come down here and win. And I want to see them not be able to win. I want people to see that, like, it turns out it's not so easy. So maybe MLS does have something to offer, and it's not going to change anyone's minds, but I don't want them to have that on us. Okay. So that's why. Nothing personal against you, Messi. It's just that there's a lot of, soccer's full of a bunch of snobs. Like, why do you think there's so many people that, like, you have an overseas team, but you don't have an MLS team and you live in a town, like, I want to watch the best soccer. It's like, you guys are jerks. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of you guys, I don't like your attitude.
I get it.
I don't like your vibe.
I get it. So I can't.
That's crazy.
Push
but
back
you don't, because then you're not doing that. You're here with me in America.
No, but I conceptually get it. Like, I'm not mad at the person who's like that.
I'm mad at the person that's like that. I'm mad at the person that's like that. And I'm not even mad that, like, if you don't watch MLS and you only watch overseas. I'm mad if you got, like, a snooty McSnoot attitude about it. Well, I guess if I'm being honest, I'm a little mad. Because I feel like there is good soccer. There's like, it's like, why do you, it seems weird to me that you're like, you have no overseas ties, culturally, sociologically. You picked a team over there and you don't watch anything here, like, at all.
People just want to follow the best. And I
don't like that.
And that's what I understand.
I don't like that. I feel like you left us behind, and then you act like you're also like you're here. Like, you act like you're above, like, oh, now all of a sudden you're fucking English. Shut up. You live in Seattle, bitch. Like, you live in Seattle. And you're like, oh, well, I'm not, like, I feel like it's like you're, in my mind sometimes, it feels like you're trying to, like, deny who you are to be with who you want to be, but you're not that. And it's like, I don't know. There's something like, I feel like too, I guess that's also just like my perspective on sports is very like not singularly tied to location.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's like a part of it, you know? It's like being there and being a part of it.
Sure.
And it's like, not only do you deny being a part of where you're from, but you look down on it, which I think I think secretly you're a self-hating bitch. And that's what I don't like about you. That's why I don't like you. Because I think you're self-hating. I think you're secretly self-hating.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
And I think it's something to look within about, because I think that's the truth. I think a little bit. And that's why I don't want Inter Miami to win.
Gotcha.
Because of what it represents.
Hey, I understand.
Messi's
what you're saying.
Nasty on the ball though. And it's not even that, like, again, it is better soccer, but like, yeah, like it's like
at what cost?
It's like, yeah, like I just feel like there are a lot of people that look down on the MLS, you know, like very extremely. And I just think it's a little much. It's a little much. So yeah, so I'd like to see them not win for that reason. So anyway, but great card. Love, you know, great card, great athlete. Yeah. It's a fun time having Messi in the league. It'd be more fun if he was on the Galaxy, but you know, what are you gonna do? Sure. Yeah. And I think that does it for not games. The cards, lay out the card, you know, and I'm excited to just like bring this out like it's like a draw four, you know, in my mind, this Ricky Rouge card.
I'm telling you, the first game he plays, I'm bringing my card with me to the stadium.
Yeah, it's just, anyway, the point of this conversation is, despite me hating a lot of people, you know, no matter what, there's always going to be some hatred, right?
Sure.
You're mad that people like Mario Kart. I'm mad that people hate MLS. Like, we all have things to be mad about. But at the end of the day, it's fun to have something to do and to fill the time.
That is true. That is very true.
On this little rock. And this is like a fun way to fill some time and do some little things, connect with people, get to know the game, get to know the athletes and the stories. I think the last thing I want to shout out for not game stuff is, you don't have it on you, but one of the cards you pulled was that one athlete we saw from the MLS like docuseries. Where he was talking about like he's an older athlete and his struggles to kind of find a home in the MLS. And seeing him was like, it was I got excited seeing his card because it reminded me of like his story and stuff. So yeah. And I don't know, maybe you feel that when you look at Pikachu. Like Ricky's just Pikachu. He's just a different Pikachu. They're all Pikachus. They're all the woo-woos. It's all the same stuff. And it's all a good fun time as long as you're not. Circle. Yeah. Just don't get toxic. Don't get too toxic with it. Maybe a little toxic, but don't be too toxic with it. It's gonna be a fun time. Look at these little guys. They're all little guys. But that's not games, which brings us to our poll of the show. Every week we ask a question via a poll. We do a games and not games poll over at the website gamesandnotgames.com/poll. So you can always go there. You can bookmark it. You can have it at the ready. Last episode we had asked about, speaking of hate, we asked about hate finishing. Have you ever hate finished a game? And 85% of you have. Yeah. And 14% of you are liars. Look within. You don't like some of those games, but I don't know. Everyone also defines a hate finish different. So it's kind of just fun to see the analytics on that. And then we also asked, who's your favorite pet in media? Got a couple of write-ins. What are some of the write-ins we got here?
We got Doug from Up, classic. Shadowmere, which I feel like I know the name. I don't know where they're from.
I'll look it up.
Wishbone. Two actually, you know, people mentioned Wishbone. We had the rooster in Moana.
Shadowmere's the horse from Oblivion?
Yeah, that sounds right. Hihei, the rooster from Moana. Brian from Family Guy, classic. Can't forget about him.
I would say not a pet.
He's a pet. No, he's definitely a pet. He's the family pet. He's their dog. He is the definition of pet.
He's too anthropomorphized to feel like a pet to me.
I mean,
he sleeps with like human women. Like, I don't feel like he's a pet.
I can't argue against that.
Also, he's horrible, so you shouldn't have written him down.
And then one of the goats, Perry the platypus.
I don't know enough about Perry's lore, but he also seems
Perry's
like he's pretty anthropomorphized.
No, he doesn't like talk or anything, but he does communicate with humans.
Is Salem from like Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
I want to say yeah.
Like the cat?
I believe so.
I love him. He's also like a favorite
Yeah.
He's like one of the
Pretty
best
good.
cats
Pretty good.
on TV. And he's a little anthropomorphic too, but he like, cause he talks, but he just not like, he's not like eating at the table with us. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I love Salem. Anyway, other things to share. People, speaking of the what's a pet, what's not a pet, they said Mushu's not a pet. They said he's
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand that. In my head, he
said little brother is Mulan's
he becomes
pet dog.
a pet, almost like
Well,
the way Donkey almost
is
becomes
Donkey
a pet. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Donkey's a pet either. He's like he's a buddy. He's an animal buddy.
He's a friend.
Because Daxter's not Jack's pet. Granted, Daxter was originally a human. Which people forget, but
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't argue that Donkey isn't Shrek's pet, but I wouldn't argue that he is. It's
he lives
like
his own life. The fact that he can move out and live his own life, I think, makes him not a pet. He lives with Dragon now.
I mean, I don't know. A stray animal can live its own life. That doesn't make it not someone's pet.
I don't think they're pets. I think they're like homies.
You can be homies with your pet. What do you mean? You talk to Bruce all the time?
Yeah, but like he can't exist without me in the same way.
Can he not, or do you just not let him? That's
He
the
would
thing.
be gone like that. Those coyotes by the
Exactly
Baskin
would be.
Robbins would snatch that cat
That is
up
true.
real quick. We have the. I was
Yeah.
told I couldn't criticize Dark Souls without finishing, so I got extremely spiteful and hate finished 1 through 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring.
That's a fucking hate finish.
I still say the boss fights are
series.
great and everything else is trash. You actually are a fan of Dark Souls. I have had a report, which some fans are the biggest haters, right? That's kind of the messy
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
I, as a hater fan of messy, yes, I am a fan of messy, and I'm a hater of messy. I'm it's a twofer. It's a twofer, but yeah, I think you might be in love with it a little bit. I think this is enemies to lovers is what you experience with Dark Souls. I think. Can you read the next one?
We had I run a game club, and a few years ago we played Kentucky Route Zero, a game that I thought I wanted to try, but I think from your recommendation,
it's
I did
too
not try.
artsy for you. I didn't even like it.
That's one game I pushed through, even though I didn't like it. I found passing or pushing through the game or books that you're not feeling usually just leads to burnout. So trying to do better about dropping things when that happens. And honestly, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm in my age, in my maturity, I've also come to like, hey, if I'm not having fun, just put it down.
I can't relate to that maturity, and I actually resent that kind of growth in people. We have literally just hate finished the game, did not enjoy Lost Records, Blue and Rage. I will be joining you shortly because I didn't like tape 1. I'm going to finish tape 2. I am doing that in part for content, though. I think if I did not have this job, I wouldn't finish it because I really didn't like that first tape, and I don't think I'm gonna like the second tape. But I'm legally obligated to play every narrative game for the culture. And we have I hate finished Black Ops 2. Could not with the story. Sometimes too, I think if a game is short enough, I'll hate finish it.
Easy to hate finish, yeah.
I'll hate finish it.
It's like one afternoon.
It's
you can
a quick
just dedicate
time.
to real credits, yeah.
Let's finish it. You know why not?
Yeah.
But that is it for this week. Well, actually, no, it's not. What's this week's poll going to be about? And then I'll say that's it for this week.
This week's poll, we're going to be asking about what your highlights from SGF were. And then for not games, trading card collection. Have you done any trading card collecting? What's your drug of choice?
Granted,
Again,
these technically could be games,
these
but
packets.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not.
Let us know in this week's poll.
And now that is it for this week. You can send your questions and topics to the email inbox at gamesandnotgames.com. You can follow the podcast version of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. If you enjoy the show, be sure to give us that 5-star rating.
5 stars.
Cinco Tementes.
And if you're an audio listener, remember that you can get the video version over on YouTube at Games and Not Games. If you like the video, be sure to leave us a like and a comment as it helps us get the show in front of more people. Give us a follow on social media. We're on everywhere at Games and Not Games, but we mainly check BlueSKy and Twitch. And until next time, gang.
Gang.
Peace.